It's a 5v4 now. Ye jumps in with Alice. Oh, through the ruin there in the back.
Was the year of surge, ladies and gentlemen. 26 is where we resurge with the greatest stage that Europe has ever seen till now. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back again with another event, and this is going to be greater than ever. It is the Surge Europe presents the Surge Pro League Europe qualifiers. It's going to be me, Skate, yet today out here with Kronos, and man, he knew everything about it. So walk me through this, man. How are you, and how excited are you for the roadmap that we have now?
I am feeling fantastic. I am excited. I want to know what's going on in the global scene. But at the same time, when we're looking at taking a look at Europe, the Surge Pro League, like you mentioned, it is only season 1. And you know, when you have numericals on, there's a lot more to follow. And not just that, EMEA. For those of you who don't know what EMEA stands for, Europe, MENA, Europe, Middle East, and Africa, of course. And you saw it in the trailer. You already saw some of the top tier teams being shown, of course, not just for the rest of Europe, but also Western Europe. And this is just the start of a long season that we have coming for Western Europe, starting through Surge Pro League. And then from there on out, we will see how it goes. But you know what, Scared? It's day 1 of making history.
It's the first step in the right direction. It is the time for the trial by fire. It's going to begin right now, right here, today. And the biggest thing is we've got some really big names that we've been seeing for the past, not just one Kronos, but for the past 2, maybe even 3 years, some even longer than that, in the constant pro scene that we've been having in Europe. We've got some big names like Boars Gaming, like Fake Time, and we've got some names who are making their comeback like Extremely Slay. We've got some new names, the upcoming ones like the Go Next. And it's time for all of them to face off against each other because only 2 out of these 4 teams will make it to the main stage.
And not just that, they gotta go through the grueling experience and the star power that these bigger teams bring to the fray, right? We're talking about Team Spirit, the Dragons from the North, Verso Time. They're another contender in the EECA region. Of course, FUT Esports, they're coming in, making their name in Turkey. And not just that, we also got Team Falcons. Alongside that, we got Aurora. Right? Aurora Gaming, a big name, always been finishing top 3, top 4 in international. Same thing with Team Spirit. And of course, who can forget Team MENA? And they have made a collaboration with Okami, of course, and now they're coming to the fray. These are some big names to bring eyes to the product that we're bringing through, of course, with Surge in Europe. And gives an opportunity for these top tier teams that you mentioned about, like Go Next, Fake Time, Extremely Slay, these players, exposing them to a lot more experienced veterans in this game, in tournament stages. And let's see how they can hang. We know they can hang. They know they can hang. But you know what? The public, the audience don't really know about that. And they got to see it with their own eyes. So that's what we're here to do. Excited to bring you the Surge Pro League.
I mean, I'd have to say, you were one of our favorite chefs out there, probably the best around, but that title has been taken away from you. Now it is going to be Surge, who've cooked up this entire event for all of us. So a huge shout out to them because they've done a phenomenal job. But it's time for us to do the exact same thing now, my boy. Because, let's be honest, the game that we're going to be opening up with is probably the best team Europe has ever seen versus a team that couldn't be any better challengers right now. It's Boars Gaming taking on Fake Time.
Boars Gaming, Fake Time. This is going to be a great starting match. Of course, Boars Gaming, the lineup that won the MEC Season 2. And now they're coming through with what they have in store. With the same lineup, a different brand, a new identity. The same players, the same play style. And of course, they have ramped up from what they've learned from the previous season. I've seen them grinding. They've played in other tournaments throughout Europe. And they're here to dominate once again. On the other hand, though, when we are looking at Fake Time, same name, some changes here and there. Are they really the same Fake Time that we knew before? Can they take the big shots against the powerhouses? Boars Gaming is one of them. But when you look deep down the season, when you're looking down the ladder, when you're looking down the barrel of a shotgun, can they really give competition to those big names? Aurora Gaming Turkey. Can they hang against Team Spirit, Axe Okami? Can they do their best against FUT? We're all going to find out soon.
It's going to be really, really solid, right? But that is, again, 3 steps into the entire thing. Right now, they're going to be looking at the first one because this is a best of 3. You only have 3 chances at max. You fumble 2 of them, you're entirely out of it for now. There'll be more chances in the upcoming future as well because I just had a slight bit of an information, man. There's quite a lot of things that are going to be happening here in the entirety of the Europe. So this is probably going to be one of the best, if not the best years that we have seen for the MLBB in the entire circuit. And what better time to witness all of them? And you talked a slight bit about Boars Gaming, right? Sticking with the exact same lineup. They had a couple of players with a different name previously. One of them was Leave Me. The second one was Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. So out here, we're going to have 812 with the name being changed. That's about it. And on the other side of the spectrum, Wubba Lubba Dub Dub has kind of renamed himself as Rise. I'll be pretty honest. I kind of like the gist that Wubba Lubba Dub Dub had in his name. But all right.
Yeah, I think I think every caster can say this throughout the world, not just for one particular game. Every single game there is, every single sport there's.
Yeah.
Why are you changing your name so much, bro? Don't keep changing your name that often. We like to know that you have a brand in the international stage. Wubba Lubba did make a name for himself, but I think he wants to stick with what he knows. He understands that maybe he wants to rebrand himself. Sure, go for it, no problem. But for us as casters, makes it slightly difficult. So, folks, if you're watching, don't keep changing your name, bro. It's all right. Stick with the same one. You don't got to do anything all the time. You don't got to go fancy. Maybe add those last names like the TZs, the Egoists, and whatnot. It's okay, but don't change your, the real crux of what you got every single time. However, I feel like with all those changes coming through, Scared, I am super excited to see what we got in store. Right? It's gonna be a best of 3. Boars Gaming, a Fake Time. And of course, let's do the formal stuff first, Garrett. Surge Pro League Season 1, but brought to you or presented by Surge Europe themselves. And of course, we're looking at the Western Europe Playoffs. Big thank you to Lemon Lover.
There's shout out, man. Lemon, shout out to you. You've been an amazing person here. And yes, you quietly mentioned it right as well, right? It's gonna be the Western Europe qualifiers. We've got 2 teams from Turkey. We're gonna have 2 teams from different regions. Don't worry about that, ladies and gentlemen, because guess what? You don't need to remember all of that. We're gonna be showing Fake Time first. Extremely Slay up against Go Next. The second one will have both the best of 3s today, and the winners will move into the Western Europe. That's the Western Europe. Then we've also got a couple of teams from MENA and then EECA, that's the Eastern Europe, and then we've got 2 slots for Turkey as well. I mean, Kronos, you revealed all of the team names, man. You should have added the spoiler alert up top of that, but how are you looking at the entire brackets?
I mean, why spoiler alert, bro? I think they already know who the teams are. They saw the trailer. We all saw the trailer. The posts are out, Scared. You got to catch up. You can't always stay behind. This is why I tell you, bro, don't be staying up too late playing Hanabi all the time in the game. You got to look at the socials. You got to make sure you follow all of it. We're talking about the Discord. We're talking about our Instagram, the YouTube. Lemon, if you're listening to it, Nish, if you're listening, Kick is still a nice platform if you want to give it a try. But either way, folks, looking at the Western Europe playoffs at the minute, we got 2 games coming today in your stream. Best of 3, Boars Gaming versus Fake Time, and of course, Extremely Slay versus Go Next. And if you ask me, Scared, both these games are going to be a massive cracker just to see who's going to go up against the winners between the 2 Turkish teams, which is FUT Esports, as well as Aurora Gaming Turkey. That's going to be fire, man.
I'm really excited for the entire thing as of now, because the most important factor of it all is that all of these games are first of all going to be the best of 3 in the top 8, and then we move on towards the best of 5 for all the 4 different regions. It's going to be a single elimination all throughout, no second chances for you. So either win that best of 3 or you go home back to learn from your mistakes. Once we move all the way forward, that's when we'll have those semifinals, and then the winners moving to grand finals will also have the 3rd place matchup, right? And I'd have to say, it's all for that big chunky prize pool, man. And every single one of them is super excited for all of that. And also the bragging rights for being the greatest in the Surge Pro League. Something that you'd not want to miss out on.
Like we said, man, we're making history. We've had a lot of championships.
True.
We've had a lot of cups, right? But what we've not had before is a league. And we're here right now. To be categorized as a league that's recognized by the publishers, Moonton, of course, I think it's a big ask. It's a big say. Surge, we've come a long way. Of course, we've been part of the journey ever since the beginning, from the ground up, and now we are where we are. And I think everyone knows about the different slots that we've acquired. Maybe we'll talk about that later on. But right now, let's focus on Surge Pro League. Like you mentioned, we're talking about a massive prize pool, 3,000 euros, and this gives opportunity not just for the European teams, not for every other team that's taking part, but also for the audience to look at what Europe has in store, what we can bring to the table to go against those giants later on. But first, to get to those giants, we got to see if these teams can beat each other to get that spot. Boars Gaming versus Fake Time, the first match of the day, like you mentioned, Scared, and the second one gonna be Extremely Slay versus Go Next.
Ooh, I'm already excited, right? You know, we've been constantly talking, the podcast hours and never ending, and it's always too fun. It's way too fun to have a conversation with you, because we're both on that same wavelength with the entire thing that's been provided to us. So it's super fun, and at the same time, I just want to get back into that action, because you, as you rightfully mentioned, yeah, all right, fix that up, but it's not.
About to say, bro, what happened to my hair?
Someone like you know what?
There you go. That's better, isn't it?
Just let it flow like that. For now, yeah, the green screen is helping you out there, I'd have to say. But right, looking fine. Now coming back onto the conversation which I wanted to have. You mentioned about witnessing Boars Gaming and how they've been playing, and they've been looking brighter than ever. I'd have to concur with you on that one, because even I was witnessing with how they played. The first game always looks like a cracker. It seems like there are absolute mistakes. It becomes really difficult to punish them for something. But then once they move on to those second games, right, there are chances where sometimes they get a little bit overconfident, where they might overextend at certain moments. Now that is where I want to see Fake Time punish those discrepancies in their flawless playstyle. And Boars Gaming, they played perfect 99% of the times, but that 1% is where Fake Time has to catch them.
You know what, Scared? We know about these teams. A lot of the players know about these teams. The audience have seen these teams before, and we will be taking a look at them further on in the draft, and of course in the best of 3 that's to come. Coming soon, folks. But you know what? Everyone keeps forgetting about, even you included. Surge Europe always drops some codes, bro. We always do some diamond giveaways. We do loads of giveaways. We got the Surge Fit Club. You guys like to do push-ups and get those diamonds, man. Right now in the chat, if we hit 50 likes, we're gonna drop something. Chronos guarantee. Even though I saw it
Wow.
before, and then I'm telling you now, but at
Wow.
least at least it's covered, right? At least I know it's gonna be real. So I think we can hit 50 likes as soon as possible, so we can drop some stuff. But either way, I'm excited for all these giveaways that's coming in store, coming your way, and of course, I think everybody else will be as well. So make sure we're getting those numbers up, folks, because we want to make sure when Western Europe takes stage in the international spot, all eyes are on us.
True.
And speaking of all eyes that are on us, Scared, how you been, bro? A long time no see. I mean, we've been seeing each other, but on the European, on the Surge desk, it's been quite a while, if you ask me, right?
True, I agree, man. You've been constantly dropping all of these codes for everyone else, but you haven't really offered me any of that, man. The kind of.
Hey, man, you ain't gonna get nothing, bro. If you want those codes, you gotta take part in the giveaway too. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you follow, make sure you do all that good stuff. You know, if you're on Facebook, tag some of those 5 friends that you do all the time to get those giveaways, man. If you're on TikTok, you know you gotta share, drop in those. I don't think it's a rose, but I don't use TikTok a lot. There's something that you gotta drop. Somebody please in the chat help me out. You gotta drop something that you can share to a lot more.
I don't know about that.
Right? So it's the thing, bro. Did you know? Like, okay, we will sound like boomers when I say this. All right. So there's like how do I call it? NPC characters on TikTok, right? So they're just there standing, and if you donate a rose, which is like 1 penny, right? They'll say thank you for the rose, and it sounds like they're an NPC. It's crazy. It's like you're playing a game, and it's like you're playing MLBB, and they're like the red buff. You come and attack them, bro, just follows you, just attack you. That's it. It feels like that. It was something new to me that I found out a couple of months earlier. And when I spoke about it to other people, they're like, bro, did you not know that? And I felt like a boomer, but sheesh, I know you feel like even more older now.
I mean, no, not like that, right? Because I was just about to say, you guys can use TikTok. If you know what I mean. you finally realize that. So for the people in the chat who don't know, right? I'm from India, and yeah, that application is banned here, so I can't really do anything. I don't have any other way to access that, so I kind of feel like even more. Thank you for giving me FOMO, my boy. Thank you so much. But
hey, man, it's fine. It's fine. You can do it. You can do it right now if you want. You know, you can ask the chat to donate some Poké dollars, or if you want, you can ask them to donate some diamonds or some pounds or euros, rupees, whatever currency there is, and you can ask Scared to say whatever you want him to say. So, folks, if you are excited to see what you can make Scared yet say, you make sure you get those donations going in the chat as well. Of course, at the end of the day, it's all for you guys that we're bringing this action. We're trying to keep you entertained before we get into the draft phase, of course, because I'm excited and Scared. When I shift to the draft phase, what do you think is in the current meta? I know for a fact it's not the hero that you're displaying behind on your green screen.
Hey, listen. She's had her fun time as well. There was a time when she was picked up with the Lolitas, and even recently though, she's actually been picked up a couple of times in the MPL scenes. But yeah, obviously she's not the one who'll be picked up. But for the audience there, I'll get back to your question in a while. You've got to type NPC in the chat in order to join the giveaway. That's the only thing you can do. And Kronos, keep your hands away from the keyboard. You're not allowed to do that. You're casting here. Let that giveaway be for
I already took part.
He just did it. I saw you writing. this guy. Look at this guy. Guys, search, please just kick him out of the giveaway. He should not win. If he does, then
they already
give it
won,
to the second
bro.
person.
I think Atre
someone did.
34771. Yeah, exactly. See, Professor Nish knows it's rigged. It is rigged. I'm just kidding.
He won.
Professor Nish knows it's rigged. He's putting in the chat. It's rigged. But folks,
he's having fun there.
Jokes aside, folks, make sure if you win any of these giveaways, go to the Discord and open a support chat, and of course, the moderators will make sure you get what you're due. Don't worry, we won't leave you hanging, folks. It's not a drill. It's gonna happen, man. But you know, just so that you already are there, why don't you just join the Discord? The link is in the description. Join the Instagram. Go on Twitch, man. We got a whole link tree set up for you guys. So make sure you go and follow everything that everything that we're doing, everything that we're going to bring to the table. We've got multiple tournaments for the first half of the entire season. Of course, we're talking about the Surge Pro League. We're talking about the Nations Cup that's coming through. The Valkyrie Club is coming through as well. And of course, later on, everybody knows about this. Everyone's excited. The MEC. That's how we usually finish the first half of the season. And I'm excited for that more than ever scared.
Man, I really hope that I also get to be a part of the entire journey, because it's always fun to witness the way how things grow in the region of Europe, and we're going to be having a lot of these. You remember all those old times, right? All the way back in 2023, where we had maybe just one or maybe two major cups for Europe, and then we'd have a lot of community tournaments going on, and then slowly and steadily we started to have Surge build up. We started from the scratch and made it into such a big name that it is today. And the best part about all of this is that this is not the final stop. They're gonna make it even higher than where they are. And you know what? This is the best part about being the member of a journey right from the footsteps. It's always fun, always exciting. And ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be having that excitement carried forward into the first best of three as well. Now, coming back towards the question that you asked me before the giveaway went live, right? I don't know, man. I think the meta it's kind of shifted way too much at this point, and it's more so kind of we've got Akai slipping out from that jungle. We're getting Guinevere back in. Fredrin's already been here. Some of the assassins as well, the ones who are really flashy, like the Lancelot, has taken a bit of a backseat. He's being picked up as a pocket pick in certain situations, but not being prioritized as much as he was. And with the addition of Sora, Valentina has moved into the ban section most of the times whenever teams want to prioritize him. So with the way how it's been played out right now, it's really unique. I wasn't expecting it to go in this direction, but I'm excited to see some new picks in the mid lane, because you know what I'm talking about. We actually saw one yesterday at a different place.
Yes, we did. And I think when you talk about the meta, I feel like the mid lane, we're lacking a lot of picks that could really portray what a team can bring to the table. A lot of play styles have slightly shifted. Of course, you have your front to back, you have your siege, high ground mages this time. They have a massive impact, but the draft has to be set up for them so well. Otherwise, the dive that's coming in from oppositions is way too much. There's too many divey heroes at this point. Yes. A lot of mobility, like there always is, but there are certain heroes that even without a dash skill, without a lot of mobility, still be a massive problem. For example, I'm talking about that Phoveus. That Phoveus is unkillable if you don't have the right setup. The carry is a pick that we don't usually get to see often because of how much she shreds the tank. She's always been like that, but right now with the current meta and the current setup the teams are going through, it's a hero that doesn't really come through quite often in the draft. Of course, the Jushin forever in the ban section. I think we might get to see it every now and then, depending on what strategies team have to go against this hero. And not just that, again, another goal lane pick, the Freya, a monster. Teams have learned how to counter it, but still teams struggle if they're not able to catch Freya early on. So all about how you get the ball rolling before the first turtle. And I think the first turtle is going to be absolutely crucial when it comes to these team fights and these engages. And the ones that will really take the advantage scare are the ones that get those early power spikes. I'm talking about the Suyo, level 3 power spike. Julian hasn't hit there yet, even though he got a brand new collab, the Itachi MLBB going on with, you know, with Naruto collabs really and all that stuff. Man. I think he will be getting a buff sooner or later. So when he does get that buff that he's looking for, the level 4 power spikes are going to drop to level 3. Already Suyo is wreaking havoc.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see a lot of Suyo in the Surge Pro League.
I really hope we do, man, because Suyu has just become super flashy of a pick right now, and it's just fun to witness him. And for all the people who are wondering as to when the podcast hours will end and we'll move back into the drafting phase, don't worry about it, because right now we're gonna be hopping into the draft in 2, 1. Here we go. The drums have started to roll, and we are up in the game. Boss Gaming on the blue side. Fake time. on the red side. Names that we've witnessed for quite a long time, but the players that we've also witnessed for the similar amount have got a ton of experience with them. And yes, on the blue side, they're the ones who kind of control the draft, Kronos, but with how many busted picks we have, I still feel if you're on the red side, you get a chance to pick up 2.
All right. The Leslie. It's not bad. I understand it just because of the fact that they might want to play Claude. It's a great goal winner to poke the opposition. Also shows that you want to go for a tankier lineup. I played Leslie myself the other day. I think it's all right. It's strong, but I'm not sure how. I'm not sure what plan they have in store, to be honest, for Boars Gaming. The Boxia again, a standard ban. The E being taken off the table. Scared. Are we going to look at the Freya and the Jushin come out on the other side? There we go.
Yeah, one of them has already gone out though, and yeah, I was gonna double down onto that point as well. That Leslie is that hard counter of the Claude, and maybe Boars Gaming right now have got a bit of a read onto
The gods are ever
Garmadon,
shifting.
because we've known him for being that
steadfast.
pretty nasty Granger player who likes to play into that goal lane. On the other side of the spectrum, Pelmetronio, let's be honest, everybody knows about him. The best goal laner in Europe, who's been showcasing his skills multiple times. So no matter how good you are, if there's a decent Leslie on the other side and you're a pretty solid Claude, Leslie would still win out in those trades, a ton of true damage. So it's maybe to give that comfort to Pelmetronio that it's fine. Even if we don't gank in your lane, you're going to survive on your own. So we just give you a matchup that is not a hard
Valor and
matchup.
royalty in a dead
It's a Leo
body.
mod for the last ban right now. Kind of like that ban, but
Are we-
Freya being left open now. Do you want to trade for that?
Not just the Freya, Scary. We got the Freya, the
Grok?
Valentina, the Grok still left open. Right? The Valentina is a great pick, but I think not so prioritized just because of the fact that Sora has gone off the table. But guess what? Let me remind you,
It
folks.
is.
A little back into the season, in the grand finals, God Believer was playing
I am a
for
daughter of Northern
what?
Vale.
Scared, I forgot the
I
team's
swear
name.
to
What was the
protect
team's
it till
name?
my last
Remind
breath.
me.
See value in me.
Was that?
Your
It was the
team
Kingstar
is
team,
good.
the Jackpots, right? Was
No.
it?
They were going up
Wasn't
against
they-
Memento Mori, my friend.
Metaship.
Yeah, there we go.
Metaship.
When they were playing, when they were in the name of Meta Shift, going against the Memento Mori, bro pulled off Valentina set with the Grok ultimate. That was my goodness. You just saw that in the trailer, folks. I went crazy. I still can't believe it, and I would say that's a valid first pick for them, of course. On the other side, I like the Freya. I'm not sure about the Fredrin. I think they really want to go with these tanky picks early on, get some control in these neutral objectives, and that's why I mentioned early on this carry is going to be a problem. The Fulvi's going to be a problem. That's what they locked down. They understand the meta, and slowly Boars Gaming is starting to cook.
Yeah, it's kind of pretty early for that Fredrin to be picked up right here, right now. Because again, maybe you just want him for that execution line, knowing that Lancelot is not that prioritized, so you might have a better chance with the Appraiser's Wrath into the Retribution. But the carry is going to be a big problem for you. She's going to outrange the entirety of your ranges. The basic attacks are going to hit you like a truck. So it kind of falls down in the hands of Garmadon to eventually jump on her and have some support in the form of that crowd control EXP laner to try and set things up for you. On the other side of the spectrum, one more reason why Valentina is a pretty solid first pick is because it denies fake time that Grok. You pick that up, you instantly give that tech charge on God Believer, and he will give you some nasty sets, which you were mentioning about one in the grand finals too. So the entire draft is right now being dictated by Boars Gaming, but with the Kalia Hilda ban, a bit of a trade going on here and there. You still want to prioritize another roam ban though, I think jungle? Suyu ban?
I think probably take out the Suyo, but also look at the fact that there is still a Khalid available. I think Fake Time are going to prioritize the Khalid, which is okay with Boars Gaming because they have the Valentina, and if they take the Khalid, they can probably take the Grok. And now it begs the question: do you really want to ban out the Grok because he's such a great pick, right, in the roam position?
Oh,
Forgot about this guy, bro. I forgot about this guy. This guy is annoying. This Marcel is annoying.
He's nasty. Jesus,
Has there
man.
ever been a time?
All these people from
Has
House
there-
Paxley, man. Yeah.
I know, right? I know. And I thought Slytherin was dangerous. But you know what? Was there ever a time in your rank games where a bro uses the ultimate and then you're kind of caught up and you don't know what to do? Like, come on, bro. Solo queues, solo kind of hits different, but here House Paxley, dangerous.
I was going with a Claude. I went in with a Blazing Duet, and my House Paxley guy decided to just freeze me up. Everyone else walked out of the range of that ultimate. I had no way for the BMI because it wasn't cooldown. And guess what? Now I am the sitting duck between four people who are just waiting for me to unfreeze and then just delete. I closed the game at that point. I knew I was not surviving that. But yeah, this House Paxley. In your ranked games, at least, it's one of the most annoying house. Be it Gushin, who just randomly is picked up by a random player and he just destroys you, or be it the Amon, who's working out in that jungle. But here's the thing. Pro League is entirely different out of that. And with the Lapu Lapu being picked up in that EXP lane, that's the set for you. But the Skarja is going to be super annoying on that roam.
I love the Kaja. I love the Kaja. I don't like the Lapu Lapu. I genuinely don't like the Lapu Lapu right now in this current meta. He dives in, but bro, it's like, you know, those days where Lapu Lapu was crazy but dives in as the first one to die. It's always the way that he plays, but in this current meta, I just think there are so many EXP laners that are better. You could have gone for the glue at this point because the glue could have given a lot more to the table. Maybe even something like a Uranus in the EXP lane. And you could have gone for the CC that could have actually won the lane against the Phoveus. So there were multiple options open, but they're looking to get some crowd control, get some set potential, get that dive added on. So Lapu Lapu, it's okay. I love the Kaja. I'm not so sure about the Uranus.
Here's the thing. I think so the only reason why they've gone in for the Lapu Lapu is so that you can actually surprise the opponent by jumping in the backline, because he's got almost the similar speed as the Freya when she's casting the Valkyrie's Descent, if not faster than her. If you go for the Yuzhong, then by the time you transition into the Black Dragon form, that kind of gets to you. Uranus, again, I don't think so would have been really good into that EXP lane, considering your team needs someone who can set things up. You need a bit of crowd control there. Yes, Fredrin is going to be there, but once Garmadon hops in the enemy backline, he'll be left alone. So you need someone to actually face tank a little bit of the damage, if not the entirety of it. I think so Lapu fits the bill. But on the other side of the spectrum, I kind of agree with that. CC would have been a lane bully. Could have also helped out Freya by popping off that Curtain's Call. That could have been good. Maybe an all-it would have worked out, because the final slash is something that you'd never really see coming, especially with the flicker combination. So that's where maybe the drop of fake time could have changed slight a bit. But now, since it's set up, who do you think has got this one in the bag? Boars or fake time?
I like Boars Gaming a lot more. I like Boars Gaming draft a lot more just because of the fact that they've already got in their heads with the first Valentina pick. You could see how much they hesitated to pick that Gatot Kacha up, because I bet they wanted the Grok. I really know they wanted the Grok, but they couldn't give it to the hands of God Believer because of how much he is so good at those IMU ultimates. And not just that, I don't like the Lapu Lapu here. He's going to get shredded down by the carry. But you know what, folks? It's time to make history, all right? It is a game number 1, folks, and we're already underway. A lot of poke coming through from Rise, and God Believer making sure he's putting those 2 down in their place. And now Latest is going to go down his first blood, but no, he doesn't revitalize just to survive. Scared. We're already in, and it's already exciting.
Man, I really like the way how they're going in aggressive against the Lapu Lapu, trying to give that advantage to Bobber Rusik, considering in an individual fight, realize would eventually get the better of him and might zone him out before he gets to that level 4. So a good rotation technique of the teams, because at one side you want to have that priority, the other side just wants to answer back to your rotation. But the poke is just going to be annoying for now, especially by Rise as well as God Believer. Look at how they're zoning Ghost and Lane X. They know that he doesn't have a revitalize, so he cannot take on the poke.
And not just that, I think they're going to be struggling for the Turtle as well. I think he's going to got 30 seconds to get that up. 10 seconds to the Turtle. You can already see 812 walking his way, being a problem, and ESQ Power is going to have a hard time.
Since that Uranus is in the jungle, right, it is just for that extra bit of front line. They're putting a lot of eggs in the basket of Pelmetronio and God Believer on the same side. But that's the main thing. They're the trustworthy hands, so maybe they can make it work right now. But they're zoning everyone out from the Turtle.
Yeah, they are. The Turtle's been reset as well. You can see Power making sure he tries to get that crab in his favor. Garmadon already making the rotation, so you know it's going to be a 5v4 if Boars Gaming decide to go for it. That's why they're biding their time. God Believer trying to make clear in the wave. Rise trying to hit his level 4 power spike. A taunt coming through as well. L9 Ghost doing a lot of damage. Retribution hits from A12. Make sure he secures the turtle here. They go Bobarushik in front. Pursuer Revitalize coming out as well. But Godbeliever able to get first blood against Ghost. And here comes that big longsword. AOG making his way through 812. Getting that kill. 2 down and 2 on the board for Boars Gaming as they'll get this purple buff invade.
A single damage source for the side of Boars Gaming, but at the same time, fake time. If they do not have L9 Ghost in mid, then you don't have that poke, and Fredrin really that big of a problem. And now on the back of that purple buff invade, you're gonna give a big lead to 812 and also deny that good early game to ESQ power. And Kronos, we know how important early game to be really, really good for a Fredrin to be viable in that mid to late game position.
Yeah, I think the early game is going to be a problem for Fake Time if they're not able to get power to the point where he needs to be. This Fredrin's going to have a hard time. And not just that, the threat of this Kaj is going to be looming the entire time, right? The moment that he's looking to cat somebody down, the moment he's looking to lock somebody down, especially once this carry gets to the point where she can shred. Never mind, they don't need the carry. Just poke down Lanix as much as possible and take him down. Another kill on the board. They're just steamrolling through right now.
And this is not really good. Lanix had the Revitalize on cooldown. And it's not just the first time where Ryze has got a good ultimate on a nice target. It was the second time. The first time during the turtle, he actually got L9 Ghost in between 3. So it's fine. They're just going to poke them out for a bit. But Godbeliever picking up the bravest fighter here now. Now that is a bit of an interesting way to go with things. You catch one.
Garmadon. Oh, wait, they go in Valkyrie Descent, followed with the AOG as well. Rise, he does not have the Divine Judgment, but Godbeliever coming in. As you mentioned, that Raging Slash coming through as well as the Bravest Fighter. And now they're looking to get a Chain CC going as they take down 812 when they needed it the most. The taunt coming through from the Fredrin as well as the taunt from Lanix on this Gathotkacha, making a big difference.
Yeah, right now, but Pelmetroni's got off gold up top. The fight still continues.
No, Lanix should be going down any second. Inferno Pursuer making sure Godbeliever is able to get that kill. Maybe gets another one in the bag as well. Yes, he does. There's the Dark Wave making sure he can catch 3 members as Bobarushik wants to go for a little bit more.
Boba.
No follow-up coming through. A big bonk coming in as well. A lot of damage down as Bobarushik still in the thick of it. And he flickers forward, making sure he catches Ghost with the help of Rise. It is mayhem in the Land of Dawn at the moment. And Boars Gaming coming out on top.
That one early rotation by Boars Gaming towards the EXP lane, making sure that Bobarushik is not behind in the farm from Realize, is what has resulted into this double kill right now, because it was Bobarushik who rotated faster than Realize. And as soon as he went in there in the fight, it was no way a disadvantageous fight for them. It was still a 4v4 because Realize was still on his way there. The big impact of the Spovius constantly bonking on the targets and that tankiness of having 3 beefy frontliners. It's going to be so hard and annoying for Fake Time to deal with it because, I don't know, man. Maybe if you're Garmadon, you might want to go in for a Trinity to try and burst down through that tank.
At this point, you gotta see how much more advantage that they can give to Garmadon, right? They want to make sure that this Freya starts snowballing hard. They got Ghost for the late game, but he's not able to scale at this point. They need to make sure they put their eggs in another basket because Godbeliever has been on point so far. Traction Pulse missing out. Godbeliever again has the Bravest Fighter with him. Power goes in for a taunt. Get a nice clear on the wave, but look at the river control scared. 15 seconds to the turtle, and Boars Gaming do not want to give up the control of this river.
They had this from the very first minute in the game. And for some reason, normally we should say Kimi winning out those lanes. But it's Ryze who's basically been helping out with the clear by constantly casting the Ring of Punishment as well as the enhanced basic attack. But look at Turtle Pit. They find out where power is, and they're zoning the rest 3 members now. This Divine Judgment is a big threat.
It definitely is going to be a big threat. I think they're waiting for... Oh, nice Dark Wave with the flickers. Well, coming out at the same time. You can see they go to the back line with the AOG alongside the Bravest Fighter. Valkyrie Descent coming through as well. And the big bonk being dropped down on 812, but he's able to survive, revitalize to make sure Rise is there to provide some help. But now they take him down. Pelmetroni, the first one to fall A lot of spells being expended, but look at 812. He catches the Lapu off guard, and now looking to chase down Ghost. Not able to get them. Lanex comes into the fray, gets a taunt down, as the rest will walk away alive.
Even if you want to hop into the fight, but you just cannot right now because it's not just Rise with the threat on your face. Hold on, look at mid.
Oh, wait, Garmin, wait. He's taking a lot of poke. Godbeliever flickered as well. He has to cycle an eye to make sure he gets something. There comes the Valkyrie Descent. I think Godbeliever should be able to make it alive. He might just get the kill. No, he doesn't. The Spirit Combo doing too much damage. He gets a shutdown. Is what they were looking for, but Pelmetronio to the rescue. They get something back in return.
That was a big save coming in for Pelmetronio because you don't want this Freya to be fed. The Vengeance was also on the cooldown though. Everything expended for God Believer in order to cast that man. He did not get it, but at least someone did from his team. And that's the right target. You want Pelmetronio to farm up. I want to have a look at the items right now because it's been quite a while, 8.5 minutes into the game. And he should be at least 2 items in that Trinity. Maybe just waiting for that third one. Probably the Corrosion Scythe, maybe prioritize the DHS and Golden Star for the early 2. But on the other side of the spectrum, I need to see some early Justice Pauldron from Lanex as well as Rise or maybe 812, someone from the side of Boars Gaming. Because you don't want to let Garmadon have his own free time with the nasty attack speed constantly from those Spirit Shield dashes.
I mean, not just that scared. Look at the formation that they can play with right now. They have the option of going for a 3-2 and a 4-1 if they'd like to do so, because you got the Uranus that can just split the map. They can go for the 2 with the Kaja and the carry. They can get the 3 down with the help of God Believer, 812 and Bobarushik. So it's a lot of endless possibilities that they can go with. Same thing with Rise and God Believer. So it all comes down to what they want to pick. At this moment, they want to go for the 4-1, making sure they protect Pelmetronio as much as possible. The Lord is up for grabs, and I think they're just going to dance their way when they get that pressure on the top side.
And they absolutely can for as long as they want, because Pelmetronio has just picked up the Demon Hunter sword as well, so he'll be able to heal himself back up even if the Lord bonks him a couple of times. It's totally fine. And he's also taking that orange, so extra bit of true damage for anyone who wants to hop on top of him. Now here's the big thing. Realize needs to make a play along with Garmadon. They've been trying to make some individual plays, let alone just answering back to what Boars Gaming have been throwing at them. They need to be the aggressors for at least once. Otherwise, this pick-off composition with the Kaja and a carry is just going to bully their way through this entire game. They don't have the levels, but I just saw ESQ Power pick up the Chassis Pauldron as well a minute ago, and now Realize goes in for the same thing. So they will have at least a basic bit of frontline, but that top wave is where the problem is. Fake Time will have to send someone to clear that up, otherwise their tier 2 is just going down freely.
Hey, they don't want to send it. They want to fight. Here comes the Appraiser's Wrath as well. Taking on Bobarushik. Flickers on harm's way. You can see the Bravest Fighter going through. AOG to the back line. Valkyrie Descent coming through as well. A lot of damage being dealt down, but you can see 812 just zoning away the back line. Lanex is the first one to fall with the help of the speedy light wheels, but a shutdown from Garbadon. It's 812. Picks it up for himself. AOG with the IMU coming through as well. And you can see the damage being dished out as Ghost goes down. Only a former, a shadow of himself as God Believer finds 2. They sacrifice 1 and get the price of 4. Now they have priority in the Lord, can open up the mid lane, and look at it take down Realize with the Divine Judgment as they get a 5-man wipeout. And Boars Gaming making a statement in game number 1 of the Surge Pro League, making history already.
This menacing bird, man, and look at the damage from Pelmetronio. Just a few speedy light wheels into the dash, and you've got half HP of Lanex taken out just like that. As much as it is the items, it is also the level gap. Pelmetronio 13, Lanex level 10. A lot of problems, man. Even Power is just level 12 right now on their side. It's only Garmadon who can potentially do something. But even he is not really getting a lot of chances because it is just the positioning from God Believer and Pelmetronio. They're being protected by these 3 beefy people. Bobarushik always on their faces, dancing around them with these enhanced basic attacks as well, which will get charged time after time, thanks to all the dashes of Garmadon, Realize, as well as ESQ Power. Even Lanex has one for that. So he's been bonking on top of their faces without being punished for it at all. And on the back of that, You've got a basically free reigning carry and God Believer now. I want to see whose ultimate he picks up because he's been changing that consistently depending on the situation of the game.
Oh, power. I think he came in a little too far. Look at the damage he's taking. Oh, my goodness. That's a Fredrin we're talking about. Bro, he's getting melted down with the help of carry in those light wheels. This is why she loves to be playing the gold lane in the meta that we spoke about earlier as well, Scared. Now they're looking to take down the inhibitor on the bot side. A lot of damage coming through. They have a lot of peel with 812. Sky Piercer being picked up by Ghost, but you can see Garbodon going to the back line. Vengeance being popped already. AOG coming through. Pelmetrina flickers out of harm's way, and now he's looking to take somebody down. Speedy light wheels. Revitalize, not going to help them survive. Garbodon, the first one to fall, alongside the rest that have already come through. Lanex going down as well, and Realize falling away one after another. They're falling down, and now they're locking out the base crystal. Boars Gaming do not care. They just want to pick up the victory. Game number 1 in their favor in this best of 3.
Great performance coming in from Boars. This is what we talked about in the draft itself, that they had this proper front-to-back composition, where they've got beefy front line. All they need to do is just make sure they buy enough time for Pelmetronio to scale up along with God Believer, and they'll have enough damage to burst down through their entire front line. They didn't really like that Fredrin first pick, and to be honest, the entire draft eventually started to crumble, right? Because they just could not get that combination down. And it was all thanks to one dude. And that is this bird in disguise. It's in the hands of Rise. Went in with a Thunderbolt as the first item because of how easily you can stack it and the fleeting time. 0, 0, and 14.
Now, you know what? Surge been cooking this entire time. I've been cooking. You've been cooking. But you know what? Fake time, we're not cooking. They wanted that fried chicken. They didn't get it. It happened the other way around. 0, 0, and 14. Scared. 0, 0, and 14. Dominating early on in the river. Even at the bot side, as soon as we got into the game, they were making their fast rotations. And God Believer, in that moment, if you ask me, bro, was aura farming. He was there with those double dashes, using that skill 1, making sure he's pushing everyone to a particular corner, especially on the bot side, trying to get underneath their own turret. Not able to survive, had to pop in there, revitalize. That's when you know, okay, they've got the better mid duo, they've got the river controlled, and now they just need to translate into neutral objectives and slowly start the snowball. And what a snowball it was.
Yeah. I mean, I absolutely loved it, right? They bought enough time. The Trinity was also picked up in under 9.5 minutes mark. So you knew that Pelmetronio has been farming constantly. There was this one time when Fake Time kind of retaliated when Garbodon made that rotation all the way from top towards the orange buff. That was right before the second turtle as well. And I think so that was a nice idea, but also a forced move on Fake Time. Because the rest of the people were not able to get anything, considering L9 was being picked up by the Divine Judgment multiple times, and they needed Freya. But that rotation enabled Pelmetronio to get the gold shield, maybe the bit of a plating, which helped him pick up the items early on, and then it kind of snowballed back into the fight of the turtle, a win for Boars Gaming, and they kept on snowballing and snowballing and snowballing, and Fake Time had really no answer of that. So maybe they want to probably try and pick something else up in the jungle, maybe, because everything else was fine. I just feel that the Fredrin was picked up a bit too early in the draft.
Exactly. I agree. I think the Fredrin was picked way too early in the draft. But I just feel like it's all that first pick, Valentina, that just got Fake Time thinking too much, man. It just got to their heads. They were thinking a lot more than they needed to be, which became quite a bit of a problem for themselves, to be honest. And if you're already playing into the hands of the opposition right from the get-go, more than half the game's already lost for that point for Fake Time. But for Boars Gaming, felt like we didn't miss them, man. They didn't miss us at all. They were back and they were up and running.
Yeah, they were doing a pretty solid job. Right now, Fake Time need to cook something else up, and it should fall back into the draft itself. I'm really thinking into something like maybe prioritizing the Sora or the Valentina, since they might be on the blue side this time around. It will be their choice. Or if they want to just stay in the red side, then that is again back onto their hands. But Sora was banned out by Boars Gaming when they were in that blue side. So they straight up had the idea that we prio either the Freya or we prio either the Valentina. If one of them is banned out, we pick the second. If none of them is banned out, they went in with the Valent first. And I'd have to give credits to God Believer for playing it so very well. Because normally you see Valentina players this picking up one ultimate, which they think is keep on going with it throughout the game. This dude, he probably picked up 3 to 4 different ultimates, right? He picked up the AOG. He also picked up the Bravest Fighters. We saw him do that. Picked up the Traction Pulse. He knew what he needed to use at what point in the game. And that's what I wanted to point out right before that last fight, that he's got the Traction Pulse, and I don't think Fake Time will see that coming. And that is exactly what happened with zoned out Garmadon from lane next last turtle fight.
I mean, it just shows the mastery that he has on this hero, right? If you ask me, God Believer. He not just the hero.
Yeah.
When you're playing the Valentina, it's about how you know every single hero, every single situation, every single moment. And that's why they're the champions of MEC Season 2. Well, if you ask me,
Yep.
with the way that they're playing, performance being top-notch, very high level of execution, and by no means did they have an easy draft to execute. The only easiest thing they probably had was Divine Judgment and the Carry Speedy Light Wheel. Apart from that, a high level of execution that they needed to know how to work around their entire draft. So
Yes.
kudos to them. And with the amount that they've been grinding and a lot of work that they've been putting behind the scenes, it shows it's able to translate in the game. Fake Time really needs to put up the stocks, really needs to pull up the stops as well. They need to make sure they're there at least to give some sort of competition to Boars Gaming, because if it continues this way, even though they had a lot of kills on the board, it was it felt like a one-sided game.
I mean, most of those kills went in the hands of Garmadon, and that was good, but none of them were actually on either God Believer or Pelmetronio for that reason, right? He fell down once, but after that, he just knew that he needs to stay alive every single time. Same goes for God Believer, fell down once, did not really die any other time, and one of the big reason for that was that threat of Kaja with the Divine Judgment. You cannot purify from that. There is absolutely no way from running away with that suppression, and unlike how Franco's Bloody Hunt can be interrupted, I'm not counting the Winter Crown play by the way, how it can be interrupted, you can't interrupt Kaja's pull, right? You suppress one target, they stay suppressed. You can just stop him from taking the target away, but you cannot unsuppress the target. So they still might end up dying. And that was the big reason why Fake Nine were hesitant to go for the fights or to initiate those fights, which their composition was really good at. And it was not a reactive play. That's the only problem. They didn't have any proper tool for the disengage. They had either all gung-ho, you either go big or go home.
And guess what? Boards Gaming likes to go big all the time. They love to go big all the time because they ain't going home, buddy. If anybody's going home, they're probably telling Fake Time, it's time up for you. You got to make sure you got to go home. But Fake Time, can it be their time? They got to make sure they pull up. They got to make sure they can bring to the table. They got to go. They just got to show up, man. I mean, we can keep hyping them up. We can talk catchphrases. We can say, hey, a couple of lines, a couple of, big words for them. But with the display that they've been putting up, they got to show up. They got to pull up. Garmadon has been in this position before. He has been good. But to hit that ceiling or to break through the roof of being good to great, this is your moment, buddy.
That plateau which we always talk about, which is super tough to cross. I agree, man. And I think so. It also kind of brings us to question that the picks that he normally used to play are not really that viable into that gold lane, right? Granger used to be like one of the top tier gold laners, prioritized in every single game, and now you don't really see him show up that much. It's only in the situation when either the carry, Claude, also the Freya and a Harith are not available. That's when people end up being like, all right, you know what, I think so we're going to bring Granger back. Because in order for him to start with that snowball, it just takes a long time for you to get going, and it's high risk, high reward play at this point. But since the Freya comp did not work out for you, maybe you want to rely on your comfort for the next game, because you either win this one and you push us for a game 3, or it's going to be Boars Gaming simply 2-0ing you and then going back.
Scared. What if I told you Freya was their comfort pick?
That's that, man. I think so. Just
They're
I
cooked.
don't think so. They're cooked.
Are
I
they
think so.
cooked?
Just don't pick Fred
Okay.
early on. Just don't pick Fred early
Yes, I agree.
That's all. Maybe
I
prior
agree.
Kalia.
Kalea was banned. Oh wait, it was Kalea banned on the second phase, right? Yeah. So
So it was on the second phase.
maybe
Yeah, it was open in the first phase.
yeah. I think they could have also, instead of going for the Fredrin, they could have gone for the Kimi, right? They could have still picked up the Kimi in the as the second pick alongside the Freya. All right, you have your two sources of damage sorted out, and then maybe look into what else you can go to the jungle. You pick up the Fredrin not just for your benefit, kind of to not allow God Believer on that Valentina to go out of control, right? But then again, if you're already thinking that, it's gonna be a problem for you. If you're getting to that point where it's like, okay, am I really gonna allow God Believer to play his game? And when you start thinking that you're not playing to your strengths, you want to play to your strengths, and I think that's something Fake Time have to do, especially in the draft. Now that I believe they're probably going to be on the red side. So if they're going to be on the red side, or rather they're going to be on the blue side, right? They're going to be on the blue side. They have to prioritize what they can pick, because Scared, you and I both know in this current meta, the red side favors so much, get so much for themselves.
True. I think so. One of the big reasons why they also could not execute that disengage draft as well, we both mentioned they kind of needed a disengage tool. The reason why they couldn't do that was because Grok is a pretty good engager as well as disengager. You can use that tech charge aggressively or defensively, depending on the situation of the game. But he couldn't pick that up just because of the presence of the Valentina on the other side. So you might want to simply ban her out so that you get a bit more depth in your picks, which you can go for. Because there's only two ways of countering a Valentina. You either pick something up that she can't benefit on, like the Blazing Duet, maybe the Paquitos and stuff like that, including the Fredrin, or you pick something up which you pick all the great ultimates so that you eventually end up confusing the Valentina for what she needs to pick in those situations. And here's the thing. I think so. One of the reasons why they prioritize the Fredrin so early on was also just to deny any good ults to God Believer, because you technically see they were not really good as compared to a tech charge or something like that.
Well, enough yapping, bro. In the draft we go. Fake Time this time on the blue side, and Boris Gaming on the red. We spoke about a lot what they can do in the draft scare, and I think right now comes down to how they're going to execute it. Are we still going to see the Jushin Freya come out on the red side, rather leaving the Freya open, maybe the Leomord being banned out? Or are Fake Time going to prioritize the Leomord for themselves?
I kind of want to see them pick up either the Sora or maybe the Valentina, just to not pick to God Believer. One of those two things, or if none of that, right, maybe... do you think it's good time to maybe lean in towards that Yi Sun Shen being picked up? Because it's not just a really strong pick, but also a very good flex pick.
You know I'm a Yi Sun Shin connoisseur. I'm always pro Yi Sun Shin.
I know.
Pick him up as the first pick, flex him into the gold lane, flex him into the jungle. Bro, I'll tell you what, I had the craziest Yi Sun Shin game the other day. Oh, I felt like I was on fire, my friend. I felt like I was on fire, able to traceless out of there. I was a 1v3 below half HP against the Bauman who had his ultimate as well. Yeah, that was crazy. It felt good. It was a ranked game, folks. Don't talk about Bauman and stuff. I bet that Bauman was probably better than your game.
Yeah, I was just
anyways,
about to
let's
say
get into the game.
My man just literally shushed me. All right, you know what?
Not you. I was talking about the chat. I was talking about the chat. Chat go crazy, you know. They'll be like, "Oh, bro, you're going against a Bauman. Are you an epical glory?"
I was about to say,
bet you guys are losers in game 2.
Ooh, my goodness. Not that I'm going to deny that. Jushin being banned out there. So that is interesting ban from Fake Time, because they're the ones on the blue side. It normally belongs on that red one, right? And it kind of shows that they don't really want to play with that kind of composition. But then it brings us into the question as to what they would want to prioritize. Sora is open, Valentina is open. They've also got the Grok opened up. So either ban one of those three and hope Boris Gaming to ban the other. Because if you leave all three of them open, then you pick one and you give 2 to the other side, which technically isn't really the best trade.
Nah, fake time are shooting themselves in the foot. They're really struggling on how to draft against Boris Gaming. Usually you want to see Jushin being banned out on the red side. The Boxia's gone. The Freya's gone. The Leslie that they don't want Pelmetroni to go against is also gone. Grok,
Yep.
Sora. What else is left open? Scary Grok, Sora, maybe.
Sora.
There you go.
There's no other thing. But now you give the Grok and Yu Sun-shin on the other
Grok
side.
Kimi. Grok Kimi.
Yu Sun-shin-
They didn't even pick up
Yu
the
Sun-shin is a flex
previous
picks.
game.
Oh, hold on. Oh, hell no, man. They leave into the Claude. First for
What's
a
the
carry
reply gonna be?
now. Or if first on a carry. Freya's banned out.
Hey, yo, they're listening. They're listening.
I know that it's delayed on the YouTube, but this is a crazy coincidence.
All right. Hilda's good.
Good aggression, but
On the case, 24/7.
Against the Eve though. Fredrin against the Eve though. I think you're. I'm not liking the draft or fake time so much. I mean, I like the
I
Sora,
don't-
of course,
I
it's
don't.
great. Oh, that's a
don't.
lot of slows, man. I don't know if this Fredrin's gonna be able to move this entire game. Bro's gonna be stuck in slow motion,
So-
probably breakdance or something. But at this point, bro, he's not
He'll
gonna be able to
probably-
move. You got the slows
he'll-
coming in from the Eve. You got the slows coming in from the Claude. You got the slows coming in from the high lows. For all you know, they're probably gonna pick up an EXP lane that's gonna slow him down even more.
I mean, the ASQ Power is probably gonna watch the ending of the One Piece before he actually takes the first step out of the real world manipulation. But I don't really like the draft of fake time. They're just struggling at every single front. You've got a kill box set up already with the next level slow into the blazing duet. So the Trinity is the way to go for Pelmetronio. And the ban of the Moscow just to not have that annoying golden pusher every single time. What do you ban away next? You want to ban out something that can actually engage or maybe go for those pickoffs. And I don't think so. Lapu Lapu was a problem though. So that should stay up. Suyu isn't even a problem. Maybe they ban out an Alice on the next ban, Boris Gaming.
Yeah, I like the Alice, man. I was gonna say, where's the dive gonna come from? Because yes, you have they ban out the Farsa to make sure God Believer has a better time. Don't give them any sort of high ground, even though they have the Claude.
Hold
it's
on.
okay. Why would they ban out the
What
Yuzhong
if
when
they
they
pick
could use
Alice?
the Yuzhong themselves? Oh no.
I think so. Maybe Boris Gaming would want to pick an Alice for themselves. If they do, it's scoped.
The Kimi is still available. The carry is still available though, but carry against the Eve is just not gonna cut it. The Kimi, I can see fake time making it work. The glue, oh, they really need the carry. They're forcing, Boris Gaming are forcing out a carry from fake time, if you ask me. They're really forcing this carry coming out from fake time, and they know if they pick the carry, they're going to have a great day with the RWM, dropping it down because there's two tanky members. You're already going up against a marksman. There are not a lot of other goal lane options left apart from the carry. You don't want to go. You had the Leslie that could you pick up against the Claude, but now that's not available. You could go for something like a Beatrix, but it's not enough damage. You're really relying on the carry to start through damage. Maybe go for a Lunox too. But again, that single target, it's not fast enough.
It's going to be a lot of problem, man. And the Kimi is just going to get outranged by God Believer. Yeah, I was calling for the Granger for a long time. I knew that on his comfort day, he will pick him up. As much as he's got that range now to work with, I don't think so he's going to have that damage or maybe even the chance to snowball this game out of control. That Leo mod shuts everything up. You've got the RWM dropped in. Into the glorious path where we go as well. Boba Rusik is just constantly going to annoy every single one of them with a slam. And then you'll see a Barbil walking or rather running in the opposite direction while Pelmetroni is in the blazing duet. A very straightforward win condition for Bose Gaming. And for fake time to actually execute their draft Cronus, I think so they've got to wait for all the stars to align. I think so Bose Gaming have got this in the bag.
Yeah, I feel the same, man. With the way that they've drafted, with the way that they've been dictating the pace of the draft, not just on the blue side, but also the red side. Yeah, I think fake time, if they can pull out a victory here, I don't know if they can do the third one, but still, Boris Gaming have the upper hand going into the game. They got the Leo Mort for the finish. They got the Patrick for annoying the opposition. They got multiple slows. I don't know if this Fredrin's going to be able to move. and they have the Granger, which is the next best option after the carry. I love that Patrick skin, bro. I just love that Patrick skin.
I know. It's probably one of the goofy skin that I've ever seen in this game, man. That's all I'm gonna say. It's one of the most goofy. And here we go, people. As we've been talking about hopping into the land of dawn already, here we go. Be happy with the Patrick. You constantly get the way he walks around with those glue-lets around him.
Yeah,
We're gonna laugh half of the
hilarious.
game, aren't we?
Yeah, we kind of are, I think. But look at the, again. This is what they wanted. This is what they got. River Control, the mid duo is doing fantastic for the side of Boars Gaming, and now slowly they're gonna poke down Ghost. They're gonna poke down Lanix, what they did in the previous game, and then gonna be a -1 in terms of rotation. It's gonna be a 4v3, and next thing you know, that's where the momentum starts shifting in the favor of Boars Gaming. But here, Pelmetronio having a difficult time. So Garmadon able to dish out some damage, holding his own.
Now, here's the thing. In that gold lane matchup, be it Claude against a Yisun Shin or a Claude against a Granger, it literally depends on how the other person is playing and how they're tapping onto their skills, right? If you're the Granger, you simply do not fully commit to the Rhapsody. You tap it, cancel it, tap it, cancel it. You force Pelmetronio in an awkward place, but go!
Oh my god, first blood on the top side. Garmadon goes
He's
down
done.
just when we were talking about how he had slight bit of an advantage. He was holding his own. Rotation-wise, you can't count Boars Gaming out.
Yeah, that's kind of a bait setup by Pelmetronio there. He was totally fine with eating up all of that damage. He knew he can. And now the turtle priority is for now with fake time, but Boars Gaming want to contest.
No, I don't think they'll be able to contest this turtle quite easily, but you can see on the top side. Oh, wait, in the purple buff, Leomord able to steal one away, 8-1-2, but look at Patrick pulling Lanix back. He's going to go
Lanix
down.
is
They
dead.
even commit the RWM.
They're totally fine. They got the purple buff. They instantly get one pick out of that, but hold on. 8-1-2 getting picked off by Garmadon. Now, that is going to give him a crucial farm that he lost out once he got picked off, so that's maybe a way for them to bounce back.
Yeah, it's a good way for them to make some sort of a comeback at this point, but you can see ESQ Power trying to get an invade down. Arise is there, not able to get that creep, but now he's going to go down, revitalize to make sure he survives. Not enough. Here comes the Steed. ESQ Power has the taunt. I don't know if he wants to go in. At this point, it's going to be a 3v2, but the poke from God Believer is too much.
Yeah, they're just holding their line down. Don't really want to overcommit onto that one, and I like this idea. ESQ Power is just stealing with the farm, so making sure that 8-1-2 is not going to snowball out of control with that Leo mod, considering he got that early bit of advantage up top. God Believer still holding down on his own in the mid lane. L9 goes doing a fantastic job to constantly clear that and make sure that he's not that far behind than that Eve. But again, the fake time, as long as they're going to continue this, they need to make sure that Garmadon is the man who gets those snowballs in position. 2 kills already, but he needs a lot more than that.
Oh, attraction pulse, making sure God Believer flickers out, but you can see Lanix goes in a little too deep, pays the price. 8-1-2, following it up with the Phantom Steed. They got a lot working for Boars Gaming, but fake time, to their credit, they're holding their own. But 2 steps forward and 1 step back, not working out for them.
The bottom fight is going to be the main one, right? Realize is constantly struggling up in that lane right now, even in terms of the rotation. And you can see Boborusik moving all the way up. This time they want to fight for this turtle. They have the gold advantage, and with this, they can start to kick their snowball effect, in which 8-1-2 has been waiting for quite a while.
Oh, well, you can see ESQ Power already getting the turtle started in their favor. Lanix taking a lot of damage. I don't think Boars Gaming even want to go for the turtle. 8-1-2, trying to get a retribution. Misses out as Garmadon is the one to pick it up. They did sacrifice Lanix in the process. Here comes the Glorious Pathway looking to take down Power. He doesn't have a way to get out. No retribution used up yet, but you can see Pelmetronio coming in with the Blazing Duet. Catches Power. BMI out of there as fake time. They got the turtle. but gave away 2 kills and loads of assists in the process. Is it worth it? Oh, wait, never mind. They're going to go for more. Garbodon goes down as God Believer's on a killing spree, and they might as well get the top tier 1 right now with a 4-2 as Realize jumps in. He doesn't have the wind stride, but able to clear out the waves. But Bobarushik and Rise juggling down the turret damage that they can as much as possible, doing a lot. And now here comes Lanex to try and push Bobarushik out the way. Flickers out of harm's way. And I think Fake Time bought themselves some precious time.
Yeah, I realized missed on that dash as well onto the Sora. Otherwise, we might have seen him go in for that Gatling gun as well. Yes, I know I like to call it Gatling gun. And he's also going to get that One Piece skin pretty soon. So that could have been a trade-off at least in some way. But it is tough right now. Boars Gaming are having everything in their advantage. 2,000 gold lead, which will keep on increasing further and further. And they've got the late game insurance in the form of Pelmetronio. 101, God Believer is constantly poking the heck out of them with 302. At this point, I want to see the items, right? Because I'm pretty sure he's already built up the glowing wand. And I want to see what he builds up into next. Because we've seen quite a few Eve players going for that Holy Crystal as well as maybe the third, to try and get that extra bit of damage. For some reason, seems more like a burst instead of a poke.
So if that's the Gatling gun, then is his skill one like Gomu Gomu no Bazooka? You know?
Yeah.
I'm just thinking about that.
Yeah, it's the same animation.
I know. But at this point, they're trying a lot, right? Boards Gaming, I mean, yeah, there's fight left and right. We can keep going on with the PvP for the entire time, but the way that they're breaking this down, they're singling out a target, which is usually Lanex because he's in a little too deep.
Yes.
Turtle's being reset. Look at Bobarushik. He's right on top of power and Realize is not allowed to jump in because 812 is there to provide all that he can. Bobarushik splits apart. Here comes the Steed along with the Glorious Pathway. Now they're trying to sandwich them as power is that nowhere to go. God Believer able to flicker into harm's way. He does get the turtle in his pocket, but all the damage dealers are zoned out. And now 812, he doesn't have the Steed anymore. And this is well played by Fake Time, even though they were off position, waiting for Boars Gaming to get a little too deep. And they made sure they split them apart, getting the neutral objective.
That was big from Fake Time because them staying alive, especially Realize and Lane, next that the gold trade is not going to go on the side. And Pelmetronio, he's kind of playing with fire.
Oh, not just Pelmetronio. Look at 812. He has the Steed, but now power. I told you, bro. He can't move. He couldn't move. He was just slow-mo the entire time. You can play the music of Step Up there. But right now, look at the damage Pelmetronio. In addition to the Lanex, he's going to go down quite easily. And Bobarushik flickers as well. There comes the Blazing Duet. Now they get 2 more in the process. And that's Pelmetronio making a statement with a triple kill in game number 2, 8 minutes in of the Surge Pro League, day number 1.
The only big reason why Fake Time got that turtle and they were not punished for that was because Pelmetronio did not have his Trinity back in that fight. And now, since he's already got that, or maybe he's just almost about to pick that up, you know that damage is just going to be a bit too much for both Garmadon and L9 Ghost to handle. Now, as much as the Kimmy can kite, you can't easily kite away from that Blazing Duet. Pelmetronio will have his movement speed up thanks to the stacks of Art of Thievery with all 5. And if it lands on either one of them, then that's going to steal away a bit of that attack speed as well. So that it is going to be a bit more tough for them to work with. Now, here's an interaction that I actually wanted to know from you. If you attack speed from L9 Ghost with the Art of Thievery, does his movement speed also get slow? Because
yeah, I think
Kimmy's attack speed kind of scales with the movement speed, yeah, right?
Yeah, it does. Oh, look, bro, this is what I'm talking about. What's Power gonna do? He can't move. He can't move. That's the whole. I can't stress it enough. But at this point, you can see nice use of the Wind Stride as well, trying to come through with the Shifting Skies, and now Blazing Duet into the back line. Pelmetronio wants to melt them down. Ghost is caught in no man's land, and now God Believer poking down the opposition. What can Lanex even do at this point? He will be forced to flicker out against a lonely Eve.
I'm so sorry saying this here outright now, but yeah, that's... Hold on. All right.
Well, he overextended.
You get
he
one.
overextended.
You get one. That's. But it's just a tier 2 in mid has been taken down. Jungle access will probably be contested every other time from Boars Gaming, and a lot has been taken up for that. So I think absolutely fine with it. It's going to march down from the mid. It's 15 seconds for it to move all the way up, considering fake time were not clearing the mid lane. So that's a smart micro here. Let the Lord strike first so that the waves are not synced properly, so that it can have an easier time in clearing the wave.
I mean, not just that, they're not going to be able to defend their tier 2s for sure. The Lord comes in, gets pushed back. Nice use with it. Holy Shield. The tier 2's already melted down, but I'm not sure. Oh no, they're going to lock him. Oh wait, Goblin taking a lot of damage. The snipe's coming through, but nice use of the RWM. Pelmetronio making sure he body blocks as well at the same time. Blazing Duet comes out, realize taking out super low. Lanix is going to go down. Ghost is not hitting nothing. He's just hitting Ghost the entire time. As Power can't do anything at this point. Tries to get a taunt onto Rise, but he's under their own tower. Taking a lot of damage is Bobarushik, but he'll still be able to make it out alive. No, he does not. Here comes the Steed, and here we go. 812 gets another kill on the board as Boars Gaming are slowly shutting down Fake Time and now taking away their inhibitors in the process.
They needed to do so much in order to just get this horror fight. Holy smokes. And now he picks up the Chastis Pauldron as well. That is tough. That is going to be really tough to handle now. Fake Time. I don't see this comeback except for Garmadon to maybe snowball out of control. He's picked up the Sea Halberd, but he does not have any stacks on the Sky Pierce. And that is the core item of Granger to having that snowball, right? Low HP target, smack them down, but hold on.
God. He eats a face full of Rhapsody as well at the same time. You can see Realize go to the back line, but onto God Believer, but it's not going to help a lot because 812 is there in their back line, melting down Lane X with the help of Bobarushik, and the ones that dove in, the ones that tried to protect are all wiped out. The only two left standing are the damage dealers for Fake Time. Without the presence of a frontline, Garmadon and Ghost, what can they really do?
I don't think so anything. It's a 5v2. Maybe we can call it Kronos.
And it's going to be one single chop taking them down one after another. The recall taunts are coming in. Fake Time understand where they are. And Boars Gaming going to close this series out in a 2-0 dominating fashion.
Well, let's just say it started all previous year and they haven't stepped off the gas. If anything, they're pressing the pedal a little bit too tight here. Soaring so very fast. Phenomenal performance coming in from Boars Gaming. Played a fantastic game. Had the early macro in time on point. Yes, Garmadon on that Granger was having a fun time in his own lane, trying to dominate Pelmetronio, but then a slight bit of a bait, which eventually get that movement speed so that now he can be the one who will dominate the other side. All of that snowballing, but we can talk as much as we want everyone else, but let's be honest, it was God Believer for the MVP performance. 35% damage dealt for as compared to the entire team. That is just bonkers number.
I mean, 4 times 5 is 20, so does that mean they were 5 times better? I don't know, I'm just kidding. Boars Gaming did show up. The draft was so much better. The way that they executed the draft was so much better. They understood the assignment. Unfortunate that Fake Time were on the back foot straight from the draft phase. To be honest, the Hilda didn't really make much of an impact.
True.
The Sora, which was supposed to be kind of like a broken hero, the only way you kind of beat a Sora is if you wall him in the lane, right? You got to wall him in the lane because there's no other way you can win the lane. That's what they did with the glue. So it became quite a difficult task for them. And Garmadon, yes, he tried to win that 1v1 early on, but the rotation coming in from the Leomord made it quite impossible to find any sort of advantage. And of course, we spoke about it before. We can talk about it again. We can keep talking about it. That Fredrin made no sense whatsoever.
Yet again, it's like the exact same story. And I'm having a look at that as well, right? I kind of noticed that there was not a single damn Radiant Armor for Rise. I don't care. I don't need it. The major frontline is going to be done by Bob with the cursed helmet into the radiant armor. So I was absolutely. It was like he pick up all of those Kimmy pokes and focus fully down onto that physical defense, down the dreadnought armor, went to the dominant size into the Justice Pauldron, and having that bit of HP and regen of the mana from the elegant gem on every level. It had his micro down to perfection. Brute Force Breastplate being picked up as the second item from Rise, or rather 812, eventually helped him out to lower down that crowd control time as well, stacking it up with the tough move. Both of them together are kind of busted. Really like that way how it all helped them out, but man, Kronos, this was a flawless. But do you expect the second one to go in the same way? It's extremely Slay versus Go next before we hop onto a break.
I mean, you know us, where we love the team extremely Slay, of course, without any sort of bias. They're a fantastic team. We've seen them perform at the highest of levels, some of the players at the same time, but I think Go Next are probably going to put a stop to their plans, and we might just be looking at the best of three for the next one.
Ooh, you know what? I'm totally down for it, ladies and gentlemen. If you are too, make sure you get your popcorn drinks, because the break only a short one as we prepare play against Go Next right after this one. Don't go anywhere.
Standing up to their reputation, ladies and gentlemen, Boars Gaming make their way into the Surge Pro League main stage. We've got one more slot remaining and there are two contenders to try and steal it away. It's going to be either Extreme or Go Next. Only one of these two teams will move forward. You have me scared yet. Alongside me, we've got Kronos as well. Surge Pro League Europe qualifiers. Who you've got for the next one, because we've got some usual suspects up against a team that has got some new people we haven't really seen around.
Hey man, the usual suspects of course, but then again, you can't count out the new guys on the block because it's gonna be a fantastic game if you ask me. A best of three that might just go all the way. We're looking to see how the synergy works out. We've heard the name Extremely Slave before, but Go Next is something that we haven't, and I'm excited to see what they can bring to the stage, of course, for the Surge Pro League. And in due time, after the first match went two quick games rather, are we gonna see some extended team fights? Are we gonna see some prolonged games? Maybe 20-25 minutes this time?
Hey, listen, this is kind of possible as well, but extremely slip, because this is the team that we both saw a long time back. All the way back when he had the MESL, if I'm not wrong, in 2023. This team was the grand finalist against Birthright. Went into game 7. We had the same duo who's playing here right now. So the core is technically the same, with Kingster and a goal laner who's from probably a hiatus, which we did not know lasted how long. We got Wicked back up with that man, right? Wicked, don't forget that. You know about him. You know that this man was literally the top goal laner at that time.
I mean, I don't know. I think Pelmetronio might be taking that spot right now with the way that he's been playing, you know?
Right now.
Maybe. We'll find out what chat thinks. Guys, let us know in the chat. Who do you think is a better goal laner? Of course, Wicked or Pelmetronio? I mean, at this point, I want to see more from Wicked. I'm still leaning into Pelmetronio.
True.
Let's find out how it goes, because it's going to be a cracker, all right. It's going to be really spicy to see what they can bring to the fray, what they can bring to the table, especially with this new lineup with Walkie in the jungle. I've heard people say he's probably the best jungler in Europe. We got to prove us right. We got to prove us right to see what they're going to bring to the table. But Go Next, though. They got some familiar names, Scared. They do. They got Slarky. They got Jackie. They got Origami. Xian as well. Some familiar names coming into the table. And let's see how they can hold their own against someone like Malfurion, Lighto, Kingsta, Walkie, Wicked, even Hangji.
I'm excited. That's all I'll say.
I don't want to say anything. I just want to see it.
It is a tough matchup, right? Extremely slay with the usual names that we've seen. 3, 4 of these people used to play together under the banner of Jackpots. In the entire MEC, we saw that. We saw their domination in the Thunder division. Then we did see some hiccups that were there, but we always had that confidence in them that they will bounce back. They were in that top 8 itself. Yes, falling down short from that top 2, top 3 mark, but it's totally fine. Now with the addition of Wicked into the mix, him being back onto the roster and also being really good in terms of the synergy with Kingster, that's going to be the big boost for them. But I want to see, as you rightly mentioned, how Go Next are going to play up against them. We got York, I hope that's the correct pronunciation. You talked about Origami as well. He's showcased multiple times why he's one of the strongest mid laners that we have here. He's proven his point multiple times. It's just how well he can gel up with the team. Slarky and his Moskov is something that you can never underestimate. If things go wrong and goal lane is being choked down, this man is just going to pick up a Moskov and play like a Zilong, firing up those SODs from the other part of the map and also hit the targets. So that's the advantage this guy brings with his own pocket pick. Jackie, every single time we see him in the jungle, we know that it's going to be a fun retry battle. So it's exciting to see, but I think so most of the game will depend on the mid laners.
And the mid lane battle is where it's going to be the most spicy. We got Origami versus Malfurion. Oh, Am I right? Am I right? Did I get that right? Is it origami versus? Yeah, it's going
is.
origami versus
It
Malfurion.
is.
That's
It is.
crazy.
Correct.
Man. That's crazy. That's of the top 2 mid laners in all of Europe. God Believer is there as well. God Believer is there as well. Don't. It's okay. But these guys have been there for a longer time, and at the moment, God Believer's got a lot of momentum going in his favor, and he has been proving his worth. But Origami and Malfurion are mainstay names. They've always been there in the conversation for the top mid laner in Europe, and we're gonna see sooner or later why.
This is the main thing, right? I think so. In the lineup of Kingstar, Laito, and Walkie, when they were playing, they also tried out Kai Mixture as the gold laner as well. They changed their lineup for the mid lane and they added Malfurion after a while. I believe during the Thunder division, they had God Believer in their lineup, right? Who eventually went into a different one. And then they had Malfurion back into the mix, who a lot of people were really excited to see. As, I mean, we all know about his potential. Initially, there were certain synergy issues which we all witnessed. Sometimes he was posted up in a pretty aggressive position where everyone else was eventually punishing him for that, but he gelled up like this with the team. It only took him probably 1 or 2 series to finally find that rhythm, and once that happened, it was a force to be reckoned with, especially Kingstar and Malfurion in the mid lane. You know this duo was gonna rock. So now it becomes even more important for Yoyok and Origami to try and replicate that, if not better than one, to maintain that control in the map. Otherwise, we might know what happened.
I mean, not just that, with the way that they can kind of go head to head against Walkie in the jungle. Again, I've spoken about this before. We've spoken about this before multiple times. Walkie has a limited hero pool, at least the last time we saw him. Hopefully now his hero pool is a lot more expanded. He has more to play around with the meta slightly shifting. The Ling, one of his best heroes, is just not available in this current meta. Hayabusa is not doing so great, not prioritized. Lancelot has been great, but we haven't seen it being used quite often, so maybe we can take a look at that. But I want to see him perform better on the Leomord, maybe the Fredrin every now and then. Baxia is still a great hero to get picked up, but I don't think he's going to be able to get that. Not a lot of other jungle options are open, I would say. Maybe go for something like an Aemon, still possible. If played right, if the conditions are met, the Harley's a great pick right now in the jungle. Suyo's available. Isun Shin, he plays the Isun Shin well, but I still want to see, can he play the Suyo? Can he play the Harley? These are 2 heroes that are really top tier right now. We haven't seen it in the previous game, but I can guarantee you we're going to see it a lot more later on in the season.
Oh, the Harley, man. One of that, I would have to say, a bit of an underrated pick. Which nasty level potential. It's prioritized in some regions, but not in every other place. But once he hops into that game, you know that he eventually soars up higher than anyone else, which these teams themselves will be looking forward to, ladies and gentlemen, because once you win these games, you're going to soar high into those playoffs, and then you got an opportunity to move all the way up into that grand finals of the Surge Pro League. We have Boards Gaming already from Western Europe. We're going to have one from either Extremely Slay or Go Next.
Yeah, I think the winner of that is not going to have an easy time. They're going to go up against Boards Gaming. And not just that, Scared. Look at what they have in front of them later on to face off the semifinalists from Turkey, the semifinalists from MENA or EECA, be it third place or the finalists. I bet Western Europe fans definitely want to see them in the finals, show that they can go head-to-head against the Turkish Giants, against the Giants from MENA, and also the Dragons from the north in EECA. And mind you, they might not even make it. They might even go down to Verso time. You never know how it's going to go down. But one thing for sure, it is packed, it is tight, and it is gonna be fantastic as we're gonna get later and deeper and deeper. And this is only the start. It is only the start for Surge, as we bring you a lot more to come later on. So make sure you subscribe, follow, do all that good stuff, folks. Make sure you stay updated on our Instagram. Make sure you follow us on our socials as well, for me, Kronos, and Scared Yet, because we bring you some exciting news regarding the same. And we got a lot more to follow, especially with how games are going down in the Surge Pro League for Western Europe playoffs, presented by Surge Europe.
Shout out to them as well, and also for the audience too. Good work there, Kronos. We're gonna have a lot more things up across the table as well, so every one of you can look forward to it. And also, if you want to go pro into the scene, you might want to hit Kronos up, because he's gonna be giving you out a few information there. That's the guy out. Make sure you follow all of the teams as well to just keep on getting updated about when there might actually be an opening for you to go on tryouts and those things. Here's the big thing: it only takes one opportunity for you to showcase your potential, and then it's all about how much hard work can you put into this game, which all of these players have done, including the ones who are hopping all the way in those losses as well, right? Because it doesn't matter. You need to learn from the mistakes and you need to move on. And that's one of the big reasons why we see certain teams perform so good, because they learn from their mistakes. Goes in for the likes of Boars Gaming back when they were known as MetaShift. They lost a few games, and yes, they realized the mistakes that they made, learned from it, improved on that. You'd never see them make the same mistake twice. And I want to see that kind of dedication from the rest of the teams as well, be it Extremely Slay, be it Go Next, be it Fake Time, or to eventually face these teams to, fall down. It's all fine. It's a learning experience for them. But now, Kronos, talk to me. Are we gonna have another giveaway? You're the man with the news.
Hey man, I'm tracking, bro. I need to win that stuff, bro. I need to get those diamonds. I'm not gonna lie. I need to get those because the Naruto skin is up for grabs, and I've already got Itachi skin. I spent about 5,000 diamonds on that. I need to get that Minato skin as well. I'm probably gonna spend another 5,000 on that. And then next thing you know, I'm not even gonna end up playing the Gushin because he's just gonna sit there looking pretty.
Exactly my point. I mean, nah, bro. If you're picking Namikaze Minato, you have to play him, and you have to play him good. I don't want to see the yellow flash of Konoha going 0, 12, and 0. Nah, that ain't happening.
Hey, look, bro. 0, 12, and 0 not gonna happen. All right, that's one thing for sure. It ain't gonna be 0, 12, 0 because I'm probably gonna surrender before it gets to that point anyway. But if you ask me, if you ask me, that is a fantastic skin. And if you are looking for skins, guys, if you're looking for some of those diamonds, make sure you follow Surge and all the other socials that we have. We do a lot of giveaways, like we're gonna do giveaways in the chat. I think. Yeah. Oh wait, sheesh, we hit 139 likes already. From what I see, probably my thing is delayed, but the moderators in the chat, they will know. I think we got like a threshold 200. Is it 200 or 250?
Yeah.
Is it 200 250?
I think so. It's 200 right now, because the moment when we mentioned that we'll go for a giveaway after the 50 likes, we had that like almost instantaneously. Did not even take 5 minutes. So I think so 200 seems like a good threshold for the people. It's about time you call your friends as well to go ahead and go for those likes on the stream so that you can participate in the giveaway, and who knows, maybe eventually win. You already saw that. It becomes super easy, man. Kronos, here's the thing, right? Out right here. Now, let's dive deep into the draft a little bit, because we like the nerdy stuff. We like to talk about that a lot.
Let's go.
About the Freya, though. I've always said it. Esmeralda, Phoveus, top 2 tier counter. I'd rather go for the Phoveus than the Esmeralda. But here's the thing. There are certain games where even after all of that, we kind of see that when the Freya has been prioritized, you don't really go for those Phoveus and Esmas. And I think so that is something quite a few teams, so that they can let the Freya open, probably.
Yes, they can let the Freya open by picking up either the Phoveus or the Esmeralda. Esmeralda being a better counter, yes, possible, but it's risky. It's very risky, right? The risk factor comes into play when you're picking up the Freya and you don't know where it's going to be flexed. It's going to be in the gold lane. It's going to be in the EXP. Prioritizing in the gold lane just because you can snowball against any sort of marksman that's in front of you. Just absolutely burst them down with that spirit combo. I would say it's too risky unless and until they found out a way to try and break down the composition, not just from the gold lane, also getting priority in terms of jungle rotation, having the better mid duo able to rotate much faster to the gold lane to shut down this Freya early on, because you really need to prioritize shutting down this Freya early on. And not just that, find a way to wall the EXP so you're not going down and you can sustain if the opposition ganks in towards your lane. So these are some factors they really need to consider on how they will how they can look at shutting down Freya. And another thing being, the Freya is going to dive. So if you have a kiting composition, yes, it works out. But again, one missed position, one misstep, and it's going to be toast. Especially once Freya hits that level 4. That mid-game power spike, if you pair it up with other heroes that are great in the mid-game, like the Yuzhong, like the Leomord, even the Glue perhaps, and maybe add in the Yve or a Zetian, maybe a Gatotkacha. I mean, the possibilities are endless because the ultimates are massive, right? But these are some heroes that don't need a lot of time to scale. So those big ultimates, giving Freya free room to just dish out the damage, it's too risky. That's why you don't want to leave the Freya open. But if you're able to find an opening, like I said early on, find a way to shut down Freya down, then you might just have an answer.
Because that's exactly what Bose Gaming did in their own draft as well, right? Because everyone is like, good, great, perfect, honesty, insane. But then Bose Gaming were like, you know what? Yeah, sure, go ahead with the Freya. One of the counters that I also like, it's not really a hard counter, but works super well, especially into that late game, is the carry. You can clear out the wave, and if you're able to land that skill 1, you can poke her out a bit before that level 4 too. You can, and once you hit your Trinity build, now you're going to be melting any person who hops on top of your face. Yes, the Vengeance can sometimes be a bit of a hindrance, but you've got your own spells like maybe the Flicker, Purifier, Dashes, just to reposition and keep on heading with those speedy light wheels. So there are ways which I see, and I think so this is kind of the strength of Bose Gaming too, right? Because if the Freya is so good, yet they know how to counter her well, they leave her open. They're fine with it. They go into their own hero pool to try and pick out a counter. And I love the Phoveus pick in that game. And I think so something the similar needs to be done by Go Next as well, because given the names that are on Extremely Slay, you know it's going to be a tough one. And with the way how they normally play, they will try to dominate you.
Yep, absolutely, especially in their own position. King still likes to pressure the opposition as much as possible. And you know what? For those of you who probably just joined the stream, let's take a look at the brackets that we have early on. Hopefully, Mikey can pull it up for us, because just to show who were the ones that going up against each other on the first game, and now we're in the second game. There we go. Thank you so much. Boris Gaming against Fake Time was the first best of 3 of the day, and we're talking about the Western Europe playoffs, folks. Everyone is here coming and asking, okay, where's Team Spirit, where's Aurora Turkey, where's Versatime, where's Axe MENA? You know, like, you guys are asking for West Falcons. It's all right, calm down. Here, take a look at the entire SPL playoffs. You can see that the best of 3s are going to start on the 3rd of April, which is going to be a week from now, and it's going to be Turkey versus Turkey. And it's going to be Western Europe versus Western Europe, with the first team to qualify from Western Europe, of course, going to be Boars Gaming. And the next one we're going to find out after looking at the match, which is going to be the best of 3 between Extremely Slay and Go Next. And of course, that's going to be the first half of the playoffs. The second half of the playoffs going to be between the 2 MENA teams that are going to be taking part. And the next best of 3 going to be between the 2 EECA teams. For those of you who don't know what EECA stands for, it's Eastern Europe and Central Asia. That's what it stands for. I almost got caught off guard. Yeah. But either way, that's how it's going to look like at this moment. And for those of you who don't know the teams that are taking part, I would urge you guys to go and follow our socials. Again, I cannot stress this enough. Look at the description. The link is in the description about the Instagram, and you will find out the teams that are taking part already. They have been revealed, and it is going to be Team Spirit from the EECA region alongside Versatime. Those are the 2 teams that are going to be taking part. From the MENA region, we have Axe X Okami, and of course, also in the side of Turkey, we have Aurora Gaming. The other team that's taking part from the MENA region going to be Team Falcons, and the last team from Turkey is still to be revealed. FUT Esports, yeah. I mean, yeah, FUT Esports. I think they've already been revealed. If they haven't, we're really sorry.
Yep.
Spoiler. Spoiler alert
for that. We're not.
Yeah. But either way, I think it looks like a fantastic bracket. Of course, you can see the dates that the matches are going to be played out. The 3rd of April is going to have 4 different games. If I'm not wrong, that's going to be a Friday. Then we're going to go into the 4th of April. We're going to have 2 semifinals. And of course, on the 5th of April, which is going to be the next Sunday, 1 week from now, we're going to have a best of 7 between the 2 finalists. And of course, a 3rd place match before that. Going to be the losers of both these matches against each other, which is going to be the semifinals. It is a fantastic bracket, of course. And this shows how much these teams can pull their weight against some of the giants. And at the same time, hey, the Giants are coming in and give us a highlight in the Surge Pro League.
It cannot on the fact that this is, again, one of the biggest stages, if not the biggest, that we've seen in Europe right now. It's including every single part of it. It's including Middle East and Africa, bringing down all the other areas. So you don't really have to just worry about the competition in your own region, right? Now you've got to be updated about things happening in the other regions as well, because if you're preparing for that trophy, you will eventually collide with them. So it's either your meta taking on their meta, trying to prepare a counter for that, and diving really deep into your hero pool. And I can't stress this enough, how important it is for you to dive deep in that hero pool, bring something unconventional out, bring some new mid laners out, right? Don't just rely always on those conventional ones, maybe the Valentino or the Eve or even the Kimi, Farsa. Try to find something new. We're seeing that happen from multiple other regions, right? I think so one of the favorite pick of Kronos sometimes that he goes into the game is that god. That annoys the heck out of you with that true damage though, or with a lot of mobility.
I mean, we saw the gourd being picked out in MPL Philippines as well recently, right? And it shows that it's not just the meta that's in certain regions, but also the players are keeping up with some of the bigger leagues to make sure they are updated. They are with the meta. They're not falling behind, and they're able to adapt it in their own sense. I think even in the previous game of Boards Gaming versus Fake Time, it felt like the match between Aurora versus Onyx, or was that Falcons? I'm not sure. It looked like a similar draft between the two, of course. That came out in MPL Philippines just today or yesterday, if I'm not wrong. So I have dates and times issues. The time just skipped forward to an hour, so I'm still reeling from the effects, folks. So pardon me there. But I mean, it just goes to show that everyone is staying updated. And of course, if you follow our socials, you have seen that MEC Season 2 is gonna host the qualifier for MSC at EWC 2026. So if you want to make sure you're one of those top teams, you want to bring eyes on yourself, starting with the Surge Pro League, moving on to the next tournaments that are coming through, making sure people remember your name and making sure you are a mainstay name for Western Europe. So when you qualify, when you're there at that point, when you're there at the highest levels, people will know who you are. For example, Pel Metronio, God Believer. We've known these names for quite some time, and now we want to see, will Extremely Slay still live up to the name that they've had before, or will Go Next be bringing a spoiler to their party?
I mean, a long time back, they won that championship. A close game against the known kings of that time. So I have big hopes for them, since they're making that comeback out here right now. Definitely, it's going to be a big name, big hopes, a lot of baggages, which they'll have to drop off if they want to try and perform to their best. And same goes for Go Next as well. No names working around, back into the scene with some new roster changes, ready to take upon what they kind of left up in 2025. So it's been constantly going back and forth, right? And it's about time that we finally head over into the draft as well, ladies and gentlemen. Don't worry, it's going to be starting pretty soon. We're also waiting for that confirmation, but it's not going to take long. And here's the thing, right? Good things take time. We've got enough to try and prepare yourself some good food, maybe just to get ready. Because it's going to be fun. Every single time Extremely Slay used to play all the way back then, you knew something good was being cooked up. And it doesn't really mean that it was straight up a meta draft itself. They always had some kind of pocket picks in their back pocket, which they whenever brought out, it was exciting to see something new being brought on the table. So all of you people out there in the chat, right? You also need to do that. Stop picking up the Gusions in your rank game. It is not good. It is not good. The only reason why it works is because there are no good roamers playing in the game. One good peeler and the Gusion is dead.
All right,
Kronos, that's why don't pick Minato skin.
All right, scared. It's all right. You can stop projecting for a while. I'm trying to win that claw. I'm trying to win that giveaway that we got going on in the chat right now. The question was, The question was, what hero did Pelmetronio play in the last game? And of course, the answer is Claude. So if you guys didn't know what the answer was, you're welcome. Make sure you put Claude in the chat because I already did in caps to make sure I try and win it. If you guys win it, you gotta make sure you give it to me. Okay? Don't give Scary nothing.
Man, hold on. Now hold on. Was it game 1 or game 2? Because he played 2 different heroes.
He said previous game.
Previous. All right. You know what? Just to be safe, I'm gonna put both of them. So that if one of them is correct, the other one.
That's not counted, right? That's not counted, right? He can't put both of them. He can't put both.
Listen,
that's cheating.
Why can't
Yeah, that's cheating.
What do you mean that's cheating? He played both of those
cheat.
heroes.
No,
Simple.
You're cheating.
Simple.
You're cheating.
What do you mean by cheating? I am. Stop blatantly accusing me for things that I haven't done. Man, just pulling my leg here. That is insane.
Okay, but anyways, I think that's that's the answer for those of you who want. At least have a lot of people take part in the giveaway. I mean, that's the only free answer you're gonna get from me, guys. So make sure you tune in, share the stream with your folks, and try and take part in a lot of other giveaways and get those likes going up. We got a big one at 250, if I'm not wrong. So for those of you who are watching on Twitch and TikTok, make sure you come to YouTube, man. We got a lot of giveaways going on. That's all I can say at this point. We got a lot of people watching on Twitch as well. We got a lot of people watching on TikTok as well. If you want to take part in the giveaways, again, I cannot say this enough. Check us out on YouTube.
Go on the social medias, the Instagrams. You can't miss out on Search Europe wherever you're going, right? Because the growth has been immaculate from the organization. The opportunities that they've been bringing for such a long time now, consistently being the keyword there. Consistently, it's big. You're honestly going to get a lot more opportunities into the future. We have seen certain insights. Obviously, we can't reveal any of that, but the months that are going to follow up right now, they're looking really bright for the entirety of Europe. Not just one or two particular regions, but for the entirety of Europe. So it's the biggest thing that you had. Trust me, you're all going to love it. And here's another thing out there, Kronos, which I kind of wanted to talk about. What are you looking forward to out here? Is it the playoffs? Is it the grand finals? Is it something else entirely?
I just want to see the pick-off compositions coming through, man. We've already seen a Kaja into the Kaja being played really well. We haven't seen a Grok come through. I do want to see the Cho pull up as well. It's not the best hero in the current meta. The Kalea is great. I don't know why a lot of teams are not picking up the Kalea. Yes, you can purify. Yes, it's a single target hero, but you have a lot of AoE you can bring to the table as well, especially with that Phoveus. That's been a massive problem. And if you ask me, I think Esmeralda is a great hero. Who disagrees can really have your own opinion. But at the same time, in the mid lane, the battle to find out which hero gets the high ground, especially with the Eve being so prioritized, we haven't seen a lot of Zetian come through yet. That's another hero that's absolutely great, especially against the Suyo. Yes, the Suyo has the ability to dash in and out, but the Zetian works out so well. You have that global stun with the Fury of the Phoenix, and then follow that up with any sort of massive AoE effect that you have, AoE stun that you have, that can bring a lot of teams to a halt, especially in these neutral objectives. If you play your cards right, it just works wonders. I just want to see what these teams can adapt to in this current meta, in the newer meta, and to see how they can go toe-to-toe against these big giants. So if you ask me, I'm looking forward to every single game. They got to make sure they're there on point and they can hold their own.
That's kind of the big man. And this is the same branch of the conversation which we were having, and that was that you've got to dive deep into that hero pool and also pull out some unconventional picks. I'm totally cool with players, trying to dive deep to get for the counters. Certain times even in the mid lane, the picks, as you mentioned, God has been picked up in the MPL already, has worked out pretty well. Maybe try and dive into the side of maybe a Kagura for a pocket pick, to go for certain kind of pickoffs, maybe and go for the Louis if you want to try her out. Who knows, man? Some things might work out really well for you. She's also received a slight bit of a buff, and also with the Enchanted Talisman now being buffed up, giving you that extra bit of magic power, you know that she's going to be heading and directly benefiting from that. So those diversion dispersions are going to be pretty annoying for you to deal with. But out here now, Kronos, one topic that we've left for almost the entirety of the stream. Talk to me about Marcel. I know he's annoying in the ranked games,
Oh my
but I'm
god,
talking
bro.
in the pro games.
This new hero is crazy. You know what, guys in the chat, if you I know you're tired of waiting, right? You're tired of waiting. You want to talk, you want to look at the next game. Trust me. Please give us your insights about Marcel. We'll be reading out your comments, by the way. So let us know what do you think about Marcel in the ranked games, and of course on how he's going to make an impact in the pro scene, because
Yeah.
I think he's a hero that's kind of broken. He's got the golden hour, man. That's a 3-second suppression. If I'm not right, it's not a stun. I don't think you can purify that. Can you even purify that? I don't think you can purify the golden hour. So it's like a 3-second suppression, not just the hero, but all the skills that are thrown within that circle that make a massive difference. Imagine that popped up with an AOG. Bro's stuck in the air. With Beatrix's Bennett's Rage, Nibiru's Passion, Changa's Meteor Shower, Gord's Mystic Gush, Wanwan just flying in the air. There's a lot of combos that you can pull up. But I think at the moment, Marcel is such a hero that can be played in so many different ways. It shows as a support, but the combo seems to be... I think it's the combo like what? Skill 2... No, skill 2, get the speed up. Skill 1, skill 2 dash out.
Yes,
you get a mini stun and then use the golden hour.
Yes, that's the whole combination which you work around with him, though. You know what? I think so. The question that I've asked you right now, it kind of requires a little bit of an extra analysis, because I kind of want to see him being picked up in the pro scene as well. But we did see it being banned out all the way back in the game number 1 when we saw the previous two teams playing, ladies and gentlemen. Would that be a ban-worthy hero in the next bans, in the next games, the ones that we'll have right now between Extremely Slay and Go Next? We will find all of that out after a very short break. So you don't want to go anywhere. Make sure you keep on hitting those like buttons. Stay on the stream so that you can find when we are going for more giveaways. And we'll be right back once the games are ready. Stay tuned. Alright people, we're back. I know you don't want to see our faces and you want to simply jump into the draft as well, but joke's on you, you'd still have to see our faces there. Don't worry, we're going to be starting that pretty soon, probably in under 3 minutes time on the clock. And if it doesn't start under 3 minutes, you can just ping Kronos and ask for a giveaway, whichever skin that you want.
Man. Hey, man.
Hey, listen, you're trying to steal their giveaway diamonds, right? You owe them this.
You know what though? Follow our socials. We're doing giveaways. Scared told me
Yes.
that I Naruto skin giveaway, so follow our socials if you want one of those skins.
Yes.
You never know. Surge might be doing one as well. But at this point, I mean, we've yapped it up. We've spoken about what these teams can bring to the table. We've seen what the next series is going to look like. We've seen what the previous series looked like. And we have a lot of tournaments coming in store for you later on. But I think now it's time to get down and dirty with Extremely Slay. The champions of MESL from 2023, a mainstay name with the players that have been there for a long time. They've also played MEC Season 1 and 2. And I think now it's going to come down to the point where are they going to be able to hang with Go Next with as the new kids on the blocks. I mean, a new name rather, with a different lineup every single time. But that's one problem that every team faces, right? You keep changing your lineup. It's not going to work out for you in the long run. And, you know, we were just talking about it in the back that Boars Gaming have stuck with this lineup for a very long time. And that's why they're so clean, so clinical, and they understand each other so much better.
Just sticking together with the lineup, understanding and learning about how your teammates want to play, and then adjusting your play style around them so that you guys can gel up really well. That makes the best team. And the only way how you can make that team the greatest ever is by learning every single hero that you can in whatever lane that you can pull them in. Right? If you're a mid laner, learn all the other heroes in your specific lane and also try and play them in their own specific lane, so that gives you an insight about how it is played in that area and how your EXP laner tends to make those decisions, what goes in their minds. All of these things impact what decision and what move you're going to make, especially in those situations when you've only got a millisecond to react to what's being thrown at your face. Because here's the thing, man, this game is so unforgiving. Just one wrong move at one interaction and that might end up costing you the entire game. We always talk about the butterfly effects happening in real life. This game is the pinnacle of butterfly effect. One extra step you take on a tile in the game can end up delaying you for an entire turtle, which might end up helping enemy to snowball for the entire game. So it's the intricacies that matter.
It does matter, and I can see already, folks, Go Next versus Extremely Slay is the one that's going to be coming up to your screen soon enough. And if you ask me, I think it's going to be started anytime soon. Just waiting for the players to get set, ready, and go. And, of course, for us to get our, get a glass of water, sip it. Make sure you guys have your popcorn ready to rock and roll. If you order your pizzas, make sure you already got that. And also make sure you get your drinks ready to go because we are heading straight into the draft.
I'm super excited for this one, as finally, people, we move in. All of your prayers have been answered, and Kronos, you're not allowed. He's kind of exempted from giving out that skin, but he's still doing the giveaway, alright, so make sure you follow him. Out here, we've also got that 20,000 diamond giveaway that's going to be ending in the next 2 or 3 days, so you have the link, just scroll up in the chat and you'll find that. Don't miss out on that as we have a look as to what will potentially be the bans for Go Next. They play on the blue side. And we've talked about this. If you're on the red, you have got a tad bit of an advantage. And a Hilda is not something that we normally see.
I think they just want to make sure that their jungler is going to have an easier time not being invaded quite a lot. Boxia being banned out on the other side. That's a standard ban coming through. I think we're probably going to see a Valentina, maybe a Grok, maybe a Suyo being taken off the table. I'm expecting a Jushin to come out on the right side alongside maybe a Freya as well.
Highly possible. And it kind of also brings us to the question about that Sora and Valentina, right? Do you want to leave that interaction out open? Do you want to ban one of them out to try and prioritize the next? You called about the Freya. It has been banned out, but from the side of Go Next. It's Marcel, alright. Extremely Slay, the only other team to ban out Marcel here, apart from Boars Gaming in the previous series in the first game. Last ban. Jushin should be the third one. Extremely Slay have got it pretty simply noted down.
Yeah, I think that's going to be on the side of Extremely Slay, that Jushin. Maybe on the side of Go Next, I'm expecting maybe... Well, not a glue. Can be a glue. Not a lot. Leomord, unless they really want priority, they can actually ban out the Phoveus if they want to take that off the table and making sure they have some extra free time in the EXP lane. Maybe take out the carry even.
Maybe.
There's
Carry's
quite a
good
lot
shot.
left open in terms of priority. The Grok is one that I'd be looking at, but I'm not sure if these teams... It's only early on, so they want to take down something in the roam. Khalid to prevent the early pressure.
I do like it, but at the same time, it kind of tells me that Go Next might want something scaling into their jungle or some kind of composition which relies onto that late game. It's kind of hinting me towards the Yi Sun Shin in the hand of Jackie. If he decides to go in for that, maybe just to have that free reign where Hilda cannot pressure him, the Khalid cannot pressure him. Now it's a choice between a Valentina and a Jushin. They ban away the Phoveus. You called out for it, Kronos. That's a good shout for you. But does this mean we see the Valentina and we give away the Sora?
The Jushin's still open. Don't forget that. Jushin's still open. Valentina, Sora, Grok. A lot of these priority picks left on the table. It comes down to... I think at this moment there are so many heroes currently that are really good that it doesn't matter what's kind of banned out. It depends on what composition you do not want to face against. Like, you don't want to go against these kind of heroes. So it depends on how they really want to draft for themselves. Over here, Go Next definitely are spoiled for choice. They're really thinking, do we go for the Valentina? Do we go for the Sora? The Grok's another pick that's available. But guess what? They say, let's just lock down a Leomord and get on the chase.
It's fine, kind of understandable. You don't want your jungle to get invaded by the Khalid and the Hilda. So you ban them out, pick him up. A good priority there. But now here's the question. Do Extremely Slay pick up the Grok along with the Jushin? Or they decide to go for a Valen instead? Yeah, they go for the Valen. Now this not only helps them in the mid lane, but also deny a Grok pick on the other side. So Jushin could be a pretty nice play in the mid, but Valentina will always have a priority in the wave clear.
I mean, yeah, Valentina definitely has priority in terms of wave clear, but in terms of river control, Jushin definitely can come out on top, depending on what's going to be the roam on the other side. You can pair up the Jushin with a Grok, you can pair up the Jushin with a Hylos, you can pair up the Jushin even with the Gacha. It really works out in their favor. The Khalid is already taken off, but now, knowing that Wicked has already locked down that Claude in the goal lane, they want the winning matchup. They go for the Harrod, give Slarky an easier time. Those Synchro Visions making sure Wicked is not able to get that early goal that he needs. He's going to struggle in the goal lane. Same thing with this Jushin, preventing him from diving in a deeper, or has to chase him down even more.
Hey, you look at that Sly thing, right? We can have the Purify early on. He saw the Harith, he's like, yeah, right, I'm not going with the Purify, I'm going to go with the Flicker for a second. Laito locking into that Sora. I mean, it was understandable. Go Next could not have picked either the Sora or the Grok in order to give that ultimate away, but a Sora being picked up by Laito on the other side will give a lot of room for Extremely Slay to work with. But now the main question is, can Go Next pick something that can deny that early level to Sora, that can play in a manner where Laito doesn't get level 4 around the turtle, and then they lock in a jungler that really knows how well to snowball. All you need is the first turtle and you can eventually go ham out of control.
I like...
Could be the idea.
This is what we wanted to see coming out from Fake Time in the previous match, right? In terms of the draft of how Go Next are slowly, methodically calculating on what they need to do in terms of the draft, because they see the Valentina being picked up on the other side. Okay, you got the Steed. That's not a problem, but you're not forcing us to pick up the Sora to give you an easier time for you to flex their Valentina into the EXP lane. So they're forcing out the Sora on the side of Extremely Slay. They're taking away the Kalea. They're taking away the Harley. So you know that this Jushin's going to be hard to track down unless the Claude is able to catch up. So now you're really begging the question, is the Claude going to go for the Flicker? Is he going to go for the Sprint? Is he going to go Purify? And if I was Go Next, really lock down on some hard crowd control to make sure Claude is forced into a position where he is forced to use a Purify, so he's not able to reach the Jushin at all whatsoever.
Yeah, and that's the reason why you also see the Kalia and the Cho being banned out, right? Because Extremely Slay know what Go Next want to do, and they're just denying those pick-off compositions which will force Wicked onto that Purify, so that he has some fun time playing in with the Flicker. And I think so it's kind of giving off the vibes that Extremely Slay want to force a Kaja in the hands of Go Next. But if they do,
Ooh.
yeah, it's a respect ban.
Gotta be
for
Kaja here,
Hayabusa,
right?
It's for Waki.
They gotta pick. I mean, I don't
I
like
don't
the
think Extremely
Fredrin,
Slay will
man.
pick a Kaja.
I don't like the. This is what I spoke about earlier on for the 30-minute Yap session that you guys were listening to. Waki's hero pool is kind of limited, right? If you're listening carefully, you can tell that the Fredrin we've seen is not perform really well. The previous match, I don't think Fredrin's the best pick. You can really probably opt to go for the Suyo, which is great. Yes, it's not you have a lot of mobile targets to deal with, but it's probably the best option with the execution level that you can pull off. And with how meta he is right now, you don't have a lot of other magic damage sources coming through. Fine, they lock in the Hylos better than going for the Fredrin, and now they have a full dive composition. Just need to add that one jungler.
They've got a good amount of tankiness in front. They've got a decent amount of damage as well. Early game kind of lacking, but it's still fine. But we've got to lock in for a winning matchup EXP game. After deny Lito that level 4. Glue. It will be an interesting pick from Oyuk.
Yeah, I think Oyuk is gonna probably gonna have a fun time with this glue. To be honest, he's gonna be able to sustain quite a lot. The only problem he will have is later on against Claude, but that's after the 8th minute mark. Before that, he's gonna have a field day if he's not stopped whatsoever. And again, Scared, we spoke about this before, where the way to stop a Sora is you gotta brick wall him, and that's what this glue does.
But here's the thing, he is not really going into the EXP lane.
Oh wait, it's Roamer.
EXP. Yeah, it's the glue roam into the Bene EXP. And now Waki ain't really going in for the Fredrin, so goes in for the Joy again. We have seen his playstyle on Joy, and it kind of does the similar thing like a Harley. It's tiny bit difficult to execute, but I think so it's still fine. It works out well. You need dive in the jungle. You've got the Joy going in. But here's the thing. Bene into the EXP lane. You might not have that early bit of advantage against the Sora though, but after the Electro final blow, you kind of have the same idea of shutting down Wicked with that Petrify combination. And I think so that can work really well.
Not just that, Scared, it's full dive versus full dive. That's the best part. That's what I'm looking at. Everybody just wants to get down and dirty in the land of Dawn. And you know what, folks? We've been waiting for a long time for the series to start, and it is proven to be spicy with full dive compositions coming in from both sides. I know Scared and I got our work cut out for us, but hopefully you got your popcorn ready, because we're going to get straight into the game as we are looking at match number 2, game number 1, and it's looking spicy.
Out here, right in this land of Dawn, you can see the advantage being pulled off into that mid lane. We mentioned about this. Origami, though he might not have a good wave clear, but he'll still try to maintain that control. He will zone out Malfurion to not allow him to clear out his minions easily. And instantly they want to try and hop in to see if the purple is being taken. But selected, light though. There's the bit of a poke and a slight bit of a domination coming in. And this is the thing. Kuntapa will win that lane matchup, at least before that level 4 mark. So that's something we want to play around. Oh, Slark, he did not get that Go Crab, man. That's kind of tough.
I thought they already missed out that gold cannon as well. But look, he is able to get a lot of mobile around the you fast clear against Lito. You get a better rotation for your team, and Go Next are slowly dominating the river, forcing Malfurion to bob and weave. He is already used that flicker early on. That could have been an easy kill, but here comes Waki. Electrifying beats already expended, waiting for Origami to use a flicker, but Jackie coming into the fray with the steed as well. Waki playing with fire, already seeing some sparks.
But I kind of like it from Extremely Slay, because you forced out the steed already from Jackie.
No,
hold on.
Oh, he's not level 4. He doesn't want to use his flicker. He needs that for it to be aggressive in this turtle pit. Kingsta forced to use the revitalize. Laito not level 4 yet.
Wait.
Jackie doesn't have the steed now. Turtle is up. Who's gonna have priorities?
Yeah.
Oh my god!
Oh!
Wait, stride 2 members and extremely slay. Just when I asked the question, found an opening, and that's why he saved the flicker.
And I'll have to say it's kind of on Kuntapa at this point. He was not level 4. Hold
Oh.
on.
I like the final blow, not able to seal the deal for the turtle. He goes in eye for an eye, trying to make it out of there. Origami comes in the lantern flare as well. Again, I like the final blow to make it out. Kuntaper almost going down. Malfurion makes it out alive.
And during this entire interaction, right, Wicked being a tiny bit smart there, instantly going in for that double laning, while also catching all of the minions in his own lane and kind of denying that rotation to Slarky. That's a slight bit of a micro which will help him later on in this game. Now coming back to that fight, right, Laito was almost on the verge of getting to level 4. Meanwhile, Kunteper was halfway level 3. That means he's 100% missed out on at least 2 minions there, if not for an entire cannon. And I think so that is the reason why he had to go for the wave clear, while Laito could still stay into that mid lane and give a huge set to his team, which led them to pick the turtle uncontested. Now, that's kind of a thing which I'm pretty sure Go Next will have to work around with, right? You cannot give things like these away in such a high-stake game.
Yeah, and I think it all came down to that just laning priority, man. Like you mentioned. Yes, the Benedetta is doing a fantastic job. Kunteper is doing a fantastic job trying to get to the back line. Use the elective final blow with a petrify to try and get that turtle as well, but just missing out on Walkie, just a smidge away. And then the next thing you know, Malfurion picked up his own elective final blow and tried to dive in. This is what I like about a full dive composition, which is a full dive composition. You got to make sure you have lane priority. You want to rotate much faster because the team that has the difference in every single neutral objective or every single fight is the one that will get the advantage. So in that case, Laito made it a -1 for Go Next, and Go Next really didn't know what to do. They lost out on the turtle because of that. Hopefully they're able to catch up and utilize the mobility of this Benedetta to cut the EXP and to proxy the waves, and then make a rotation of the mid lane to create some havoc and some problems.
Because I actually like this Benedetta pick. I'll be really honest. She becomes a lane bully against the Sora. You kind of force out those ultimates if in case he gets a little bit low into those HPs as well. But Laito has been doing a fantastic job laning against. And it's not just onto him, it's also Kingstar, right? You saw right before the turtle, he popped in the Revitalize just to make sure that Laito doesn't have to go back. Oh, Kuntepa is being...
Oh, no.
Yeah, he's bullied.
Oh, wait, able to make it out. This is what you want to see from Benedetta. Electo final blow. Don't give away any unnecessary kills, any unnecessary pickoffs that Extremely Slay can utilize to try and get a snowball going.
He's 1 level behind on Laito, man. And he's not even going to get this wave. Jackie cleared it out. I kind of wanted him to save this wave. I'm pretty sure if he didn't use the momentum, at least Kuntepa would have got 1 pick.
Oh, wait, they're looking to catch him off guard. Again, doing a lot of damage. Petrify coming through, but it's not going to be enough. Here comes the steed from Jackie. Oh, my God, Origami going in with a beacon as well, looking to pick them up. And now you can see Jackie trying to follow, but Walkie comes in. Nobody's stop him. Uyoki's trying the best that he can. Electo final blow from Malfurion himself. The mastery from Valentina's we're seeing in Europe is quite insane. And now Walkie walks into the pocket of Jackie and takes him down. They trade back 1 for 1. But oh my goodness, was that extended and was that a full dive or what?
Oh my goodness, that shot on Walkie was so important because if he stayed alive at that point, you knew that snowball was never stopping. And oh, Laito.
Oh, wait, again, Kunteper is trying the best that he can. I think he's trying to bite off more than he can chew at this point. Eye for an eye, okay, gets a couple of stuns going in. You can see they use in
He's dead.
Dash guys to make it out alive. Walkie again walks into Kunteper goes 1-2-0 on Benedetta. You want to see this start rolling for next to try and catch up.
Kind of getting a bit too desperate there, man, and he is being punished in the lane. Laito has constantly been winning it all out though, and this mid priority into the river, it's working so very well for Extremely Slay. For some reason, even though Origami was there, you just know for a fact that he's not able to have the kind of domination he wants in the river.
And it's just because of the fact that Walkie can hop in at any time, from any angle, ready with the electrifying beats, and yeah, you eventually get taken down. It is tough. Kunteper still trying to catch up onto that farm against Lito. He's freaking 2 levels behind. Holy smokes.
Yeah, it's gonna be difficult for him to catch up, but he should just at this point just do the handshake, go and proxy the waves, try and make it. But the rotation from Extremely Slade to keep him at has been difficult. Again, look at Lito, completely ignores clearing out the wave, try to catch up to Kunteper, and now they go for a 4-man rotation. Electro Final Blow coming through as well, trying to make it out. See, they go in already using up that shifting skies. This is what they create this one every single day, and now utilize the numbers and turn that into an advantage for your own team. They were slightly behind in terms of gold, 3K at that point. Now they caught up, made 2K. Go Next are behind the 8 ball. Can they play?
They are doing that now, and I think so. This is exactly what they really need. Don't take the fights, don't force those fights. Heck, if anything, if you think that you're not in a good position, you can give up on the third turtle as well. Just don't give those kills away to Extremely Slay, because their win condition revolves around Wicked. It with the Trinity that is now going to hit you like a truck. And here's the thing, he has gone unchecked for quite a while now. I think so it's about time that you try and play for your own win condition with the Harith. Once he gets the Feather of Heaven, you help him get the Stallium Scythe, build it into the Holy Crystal. If the enemy has got the magic defense, you try and bring out the Divine Glaive early on, and then pick up the Holy Crystal into the Blood Wings or anything that depends on the situation. So Go Next will have to realize that Extremely Slay's win condition is for Lito to have a fun time in his own lane, and they're doing that. Then they'll transition into the Wicked's priority for that dive in the backline. But Go Next have their own way of winning, and they need to focus on their win condition. That is going to be the Harith.
Well, that's what they're doing at this moment, but actually caught up to what you said, and now they take him down. Wicked, and giving him the space that he needs enough, trying to keep the Benedetta at bay, and now they need to make sure Wicked gets to the point where he can be annoying. Kunteper trying to go in, does not use the eye for an eye yet. Walks into a stun, but that's not going to be enough to take him down.
I just like the idea of Extremely Slay picking up that Electro Final Blow, because you pair it up with a Glorious Pathway and maybe add Lito's Shifting Skies into the mix. That is a GG for Go Next, because it doesn't scale with the physical damage. It will scale with the magic damage as well. So I do like the idea of Malfurion constantly going in with that. Plus it gives him an extra bit of mobility as well throughout this game. So that's also pretty solid. On the other side of the spectrum though, this third turtle, yeah, Go Next have decided to go against it. They're not going to contest for it whatsoever. They're focused on their own wins.
Need to find a win condition, man. Need to find a win condition. Origami forced to use out the beacon. Huyuk just doing Patrick things, man. He's just splitting apart, running around, making sure he can peel for the team, which is doing well. That's what you want a glue to do, but I mean, at this, okay, this is something that Walkie shouldn't be trying. He's just trying to aura farm at this moment, completely failing. This ain't blue lock, bro. You got to make sure you lock down. We're looking at the Surge Pro League. Meanwhile, on the bot side, they're trying to keep Kunteper at bay. And I think Wicked hacking away at the turret. Here comes the Electro Final Blow, trying to take him down. They get the Law and Order onto him as well. I think Wicked should be able to pick up the kill. Yes, he does. And now the rest of Go Next trying to catch up to him. He makes it out alive.
I want to see the items at this point, man. Just tap that arrow, show me those items, what everyone else has built up. Because I'm pretty sure Wicked, if not already picked up the Trinity, is almost on the verge of picking that last item. Should be a Corrosion Scythe. Now, it's an interesting thing where Kunteper did not really tap on the Petrify while Wicked was caught in the Electro Final Blow. Because normally we see that is how the combination goes. You go in instantly with the Electro Final Blow, tap the Petrify so that the person who's caught there is caught up, and then go for the skill 1 slash, run away with the eye for an eye if anyone tries to stun you up. We're not really seeing any of that happen, and it has been tough for Kunteper. But I think so that might actually end up being the difference maker in this game, my man.
Yeah, I feel that could be. Kunteper is... I mean, the Benedetta is such a great pocket pick, right? It's such a great pocket pick if it works out well. If this is the output that we're looking from Kunteper on this Benedetta, especially in the early game. It's not going well for GoNext. Now they need to find a way to at least proxy the waves, get some pressure on the sides, find an opportunity to tilt the balance in their favor. You have the mobility that can work out well. The glorious pathway being used early on just to stop them from coming in. Uyok right now going in with the flicker play. I don't think it was necessary. They dive in deep. Petrify coming in. Wicked taken down, but you can see the nice use of the wind stride as well. They get Wicked. Origami with the kill. And now Jack is with the steed trying to find an opening. Electro-Final Bro coming out from Malfurion to chase down Kunteper. And he gets taken away. And that's a 2v2 trade. Rather 2v1. And now they find a shutdown onto Malfurion. And this is the opening that GoNext were looking for.
As soon as you went in with Electro Blow, I knew this was it, but Uyok surviving!
Oh no, Laito finds an opening, gets a kill, and now look at Walkie in no man's land. The aura farming is just not working out this time, and Extremely Slay throwing away whatever advantage they had thanks to one misstep, and here comes Laito, and look at Wicked. The Blazing Duet is out. I'm not sure who got the Lord, but they make it out alive.
I mean, it was so very close out here, but here's the thing. We'll talk about that in a second, though. It was a fantastic catch by Uyok onto Wicked, and the pair-up which we were honestly talking about. Bringing the person back with a grab, and slam, and then into the Electro Final Blow with the Petrify is exactly what you need to shut this cloud down. Wicked wanted to be a bit more greedy there with the flicker, not pick up a Purify, even though there's a glue on the other side, even though there is a Petrify Bene on the other side, and he kind of paid the price in that previous fight.
Oh no, Kingsta, what are you doing? Not getting caught again. He'll get taken away thanks to the Zaman Force. And the dash is coming through for Slarky. They found the opening, they found the momentum, and now they get their mojo. Malfurion going in with the Electro-Final Bro, trying to clear the wave. Not done yet as they're hacking away the tier 1. The Lord is on the top side, and Walkie has to try and stop it. But GoNext got the job done. Oh wait, Wicked goes in. Oh, but he made it out alive. That was a good clear.
I don't think so. I think so. It was a bit of an overstay there. Yes, the minion was already going to be cleared up either ways in that case. He's just lucky that everyone else did not decide to target him down and it didn't get stunned up by the glue. But out here, oh, look at the damage from Slarky.
Oh, eye for an eye already used up. I think Laito looking for the opportunity. Yes, he does. Windstride comes in, not able to push them back. Can go for the shifting skies. Glorious Pathway slowed him down. Slarky dashing around with the help of the Zaman Force as well. And you can see Uyok doing the best that he can to grab, and Winter Crown being used up. And now they have no way to stop Slarky. Here comes Wicked with the Blazing Duet. Goes into the back line, but not enough damage to take down Slarky. They do have the help of Kingston, and they finally get the opportunity. BMI to go back, and now they're looking to chase them down. Meanwhile, on the top side, Walkie pulling off what Kunteper were trying to do the entire game.
Oh, wait, Walkie.
Oh, this time he goes in, electrifying beats, trying to find the opening. Oh my goodness, Malfurion just flickered forward, taking down Origami. The battle of the mid laners is looking tough, and now Wicked goes in onto Jax with the help of Kingsta, using the steed to get out of harm's way.
Oh, that's a good call onto the Barbiel. The horse saving the life of Leomord there. But man, what an extended fight, starting it all the way from mid towards the bottom. Now here's the thing. Laito went in for the shifting skies, did not really have the stacks, but he was in that torrent form, so was able to sustain through everything that was thrown at his face. Ended up burning out the flicker as well to survive. And that eventually led for an overstay from GoNext, wherein they did not realize Wicked with a Blazing Duet can eventually take them down. He waited for the Zaman Force's duration to end up, and that's when he went in with the BMI Blazing Duet combination, and eventually Kingstar standing up there as well helped soak up a bit of damage, sustained through it all, and ended up punishing the members of GoNext, which obviously translated into Malfurion picking off Origami out there in the mid lane with a flicker.
And you know what?
They've got the priority at the Lord, yeah.
Oh wait, Glorious Path coming through as well. Laito trying to dash in. They're able to secure the Lord. One thing I wanted to point out, Scared, is the fact that for more than half of these 14 minutes, we've seen Walkie being isolated by himself, right? And the rest of the four sticking together. And it's a formation that they've been working for the better half of this game. And I think they'll continue to do so throughout the entire series. And if GoNext can understand that and capitalize on it, then it might be a different story. But so far, they haven't read into it yet. And Extremely Slay are taking the advantage for it.
Yeah, and now Wicket has picked up the Malefic gun as well. I think so this is his last item. He's probably picked up the Winter Crown too in the midst of it all. So he should be hopping in the back line and pressing that one out.
Oh well, Kuntuper
the
hacking
question
away at the
is-
Lord. Oh, Wind Strike coming in, but nice use of the Purifier from Slarky as well at the same time. You can see they go in. Zaman Force drop down. Steed coming in. Winter Crown being used. They get the tier 2 in the mid lane, and now they're chasing away. The damage being done.
pick.
Lito is down and out. Malfurion can't do anything. They pull him back, and now here comes Walkie. Dancing around with the electrifying beats, but Wicked in the back line. Catches Origami, zoning every single person away. Uyuk's the only one left standing, trying to defend the bot side. Inhibitor in the mid lane falls down. Kuntuper, Electro final, petrify, but nobody home. Kingstar goes in with the glorious pathway. They take away and crack the base crystal open. And now they got what they came for. Extremely Slay turning the tides in one single team fight.
Man, that Petrify, if it landed on a couple of people there, if they were inside that electrofinal blow range, that could have been entirely fight changing. But now probably the third inhib is falling.
Oh my god, not able to sustain whatsoever. Walkie finding his moments. They take away the inhibitor on the top side. Now there's no defense for this crystal. And I think credit where it's due, Scared. Yes, they're pulling off some massive sets, but the glorious pathway coming out from Kingstar on point, making sure he's creating a separation between Go Next's front line and back, allowing Wicked, along with Walkie and Lito, to dive in and dish out the damage that they need to.
This high loss has been very annoying for Go Next to deal with. Even though you are a Benedetta in the hands of Kuntuper, you know how to kind of dodge away or dash away from it. It still is affecting him. And he's not being able to find that right target. If anything, Oyok is the one who's not able to find any pick on Wicked. He had the last item remaining now at 1630. He's completed his build with the Winter Crown. Jackie? Alright. 18 seconds before the Lord. Not sure if that was the right call.
It's a low cooldown skill. It's probably got like 18 to 15 seconds on the Steed, so he should be fine.
20 probably.
He should be fine by the time they get it back. Wicked is the one they need to look out for. He's been left unchecked, and you know what, Scared? The best part being, bro doesn't have a Purify, man. He's not stopped, though. Kuntuper wants to hit the Petrify, but doesn't find the angle. Same thing with Origami. Wants to get the Lantern Flare, not finding enough stacks. So Uyuk is not able to get him at the same time. So Wicked has been playing out of his mind completely, and so has Slarky.
Both of these gold laners are showcasing a different class of performance. Oh!
Look at Wicked. Oh my god, use the BMI at the right time.
Oh,
Winter Crown coming through as well. Now you can see the back line. Kuntuper finds the target, but Lito goes in. He gets the wind stride, and Walkie's picking up the pieces. They find two as they pay the price for one. And now Walkie wants a little bit more. Kuntuper making out alive as Uyuk is trying to sustain all the damage that's coming his way. And now for the rest of Extremely Slay, they really want to slay him down. The Terrify making sure he's kept in place. And now it's a two-man defense coming in from Go Next against the 4 members of Extremely Slay. 1 cannon minion left after our next set of waves. Here comes the Steed. They don't have the retribution, but the glorious pathway making sure he slows them down. They're trying to lock in the base crystal, but Kuntuper goes in. The combo is real, and they're able to clear the wave. Walkie's not able to bob and weave as Jackus picks up the kill. And I think Extremely Slay overestimated the damage that they had, and now Go Next have an opening to make a comeback possible.
They overestimated their damage on the base and also underestimated the angle from where Kuntuper and actually cast his electro final blow and get the entirety of the wave. For a second, I definitely thought there that maybe the last cannon would be left unchecked, but Kingstar forcing another one.
Here, Glorious Pathway coming out as well. Zaman Force from Slarky, make sure addition of the damage. You can see Wicked taken down to below half HP. He's trying to use the Lord to make it back up, but Lito getting the win stride. Now he goes in, but the Blazing Duet coming out from Wicked. All right, on time, he flickers forward, trying to get Origami as well. They get 2 members, as Lito still left standing tall. And Kuntuper with the Electro final blow tries to find Malfurion, but he gets a shutdown on Jackus as Wicked is chasing him down. Uyuk is trying his best to defend. No Electro final blow, no Petrify. I'm not sure if they'll be able to do it. Here comes the next set of waves, but Wicked BMIs as he's locking out the base crystal. 1-0 in this best of 3. What a start to the series.
That is absolute banger, man. And I think so. I'm going to agree with the fact that you mentioned that the series might go till game number 3. Because if this is how both of these teams are going to play, yeah,
good luck trying to survive this one, because Extremely Slay had the full control throughout the game. But with the way how Gonix were finally finding those moments of successes in between was the main game changer. Yes, there were times when we saw an absolute domination by Wicked with the Blazing Duet and everything else, but then there were moments where Jackie's finding an angle with the Barbiel, with the Phantom Steed. Kuntipper is finally getting those petrifies on point, and Uyok, man, on this glue against a high-loss Valentina. You've got Laito. Through all of them, he's finding Wicked multiple times, and then Kuntipper is following up with him. That dive combination was working very well.
I mean, the dive, if Kuntipper didn't have that shaky early game, this could have been, this script could have completely been flipped around, if you ask me.
True. I agree. This could have been pretty different. I wanted to have a look at the items a bit more, so you know what, I'm just gonna go back onto the stream, back it up a little bit to see what items they had, so that I can probably dive deep a little bit more into that. The Justice Pauldron, you had it with Uyok, but no one else apart from him, so I think so it was kind of the lack of the extra bit of front line. And I do understand the idea that you have all damage, you just destroy Wicked, you try and destroy Malfurion as well. But it was the positioning of Malfurion on that Valentina, which was, I have to say, making it very difficult for everyone, and I mean everyone, on Gonix to cast this Valentina.
Not just that, I mean, usually we like to see Valentinas play aggressive, but Malfurion on this Valentina was overly aggressive. He dashed in whenever he wanted to, and then under the tier 2, when the tier 1 is still alive in the mid lane, yeah. That is that ice in his veins, man. Nerves of steel, I would say. The way that he's playing, we've known this player to do so well every single time, but now begs the question, can he keep it up in this game number 2 when the pressure is on them, knowing that Origami is equally, if not maybe better? It's arguable in this situation. It's just that Kuntipper didn't have the right start to his game, and that one small thing in the EXP lane just completely turned into a collapse on the other side.
I agree. Laito was having the fun time giving out the greatest of the sets to his team with the Shifting Skies, so Kuntipper was definitely struggling on that department. I did understand the idea of what they wanted to do. It is just that executing that is very difficult, because you want Uyuk to hop in, catch Wicked, and then you dive in with the Electro-Final Blow to shut down the marksman, along with the Petrify, and then from there on you eventually decide and hope that your backliners were not picked off in the similar manner. But that was happening. You always had Walkie hopping down, taking down Slarky with the support of Kingster. That one high-loss pick kind of tilted the draft in favor of Extremely Slay, right? So it eventually does fall around that same thing. So maybe this time around you'd rather want to deny something like that, probably ban him out. Alright, a Kalia ban for the first phase. I feel that Extremely Slay want to execute the same dive draft.
Yeah, I think they're definitely looking to go for a dive, and not just that, I feel like this Kalia is just to make sure Walkie doesn't get picked off too often. It feels like Walkie plays those assassins that can do well in a 1v1 situation, and he likes to dive a lot. We've seen that in the previous game twice, to be honest. Tried to aura farm, didn't really work out in his favor, but in the presence of Kalia, it doesn't really work out, right? So I like the fact that the Kalia is being banned out on their side, so they're thinking a little deeper into the draft. But look at the other side. Respect ban Claude.
I think so, maybe. Yeah. Don't really want to deal with him, because it's not just about Wicked being pretty good on the Claw, right? It's just busted after the Trinity. You go in with it, you don't even need your Blazing Duet. If there's someone who can frontline for you, like Kingster was doing, you can simply sit back, auto attack, add in the Art of Thievery stack, slow them down. You've got the Battle Mirror Image to try and run away from everyone. But now, since the Sora has been banned out, will Extremely Slay pick the Valentina again for Malfurion? Because that will deny the Grok to the other side.
But you know what, Scared? One thing we didn't notice. If you look at the screen, it's Expanding Rivers, right? Expanding Rivers is going to be absolutely crazy with fast rotations. And they need some extremely mobile heroes on both sides, or if not, you can go for heroes that are not super mobile as well, where you can make it into these neutral objectives. So it works out in either favor, depends on what they want to go with. I like the Valentina being picked up. What reply with though? If it was broken walls, yes, I think it would make sense. It would be better. On expanding rivers, maybe the Khalid is left open. Why don't they just go for that?
Could potentially. How does the interaction work? How is Khalid able to ride onto a sand on top of a river? Don't answer that question.
It's gonna be super fast. He told you. Khalid and the Jushin being picked up. So Jushin's great, Khalid's great. They're gonna have early mid lane prio. They need to reply with something that's super strong. Probably a Grok, Hilda. Okay, they're looking to lock down Jackie on his jungle pick, and maybe even be a problem to Origami, and give space to Wicked if he's trying to dive in.
Yeah, and what if this Hilda pick is not really just to annoy the jungler, but rather more to match the rotation speed of Khalid, so that you don't allow OU to make his own play, and maybe give room to your EXP laners and the goal laners rather than side laners instead. That could also be one way, but now that the carry has been picked up by Slarky, it's a front-to-back composition which Go Next would want to go forward with. So Extremists, they have to pick something that dives directly onto that back line, because they've banned out the Kalia, they picked up the Hilda, so they can't really go for that pick-off until they lock in like an alert for Lighto.
I love the carry, man. The carry is just so strong. This carry is just too strong at this moment. You give enough space, which is already provided by the blanket that the Jushin provides with that Crimson Beacon. You have the peel with the Khalid. You just need to make sure the carry has a decent enough of a time in the gold lane, and then she's gonna start killing enemies left, right, and center. Joy, Harley, Phoveus, Esmeralda. All right, it makes sense. You want to make sure Wicked has a great time in the gold lane in these team fights, but it's got to be someone strong in the EXP lane. There's no Sora available. I don't want the Lapu. They can go for a glue here, to be honest.
Yu Jong?
Glue better.
It is, but here's the thing, the idea from both of these teams is kind of similar, right? You want to give room to both of your gold laners. That's why we see the Harley ban as well as the Joy ban, because you don't want Walkie to pick up anything that can dive onto the carry and instantly burst her down in those fights. And you also lock in the Leomord with Lee Sun-Shin locked in along with the Uranus. They don't have CC, man.
I know, I was gonna say, no crowd control, overwhelm them with damage, maybe try and kite as much as possible. More of a single target kind of a composition. Lighto's got to play the off lane, absorb a lot of pressure. So what's gonna be on the other side? I would like Glue just to make sure the Zisenshin does not have a good time in the. That's why they even deny this Uranus. The Yuzhong does this thing even better, just because he can chase him down, lock him down with a Petrify just after the Traceless being used. So Kunteper tried to give us a Petrify hero in the first game with that Benedetta. Can he pull it off this time though with the Yuzhong in the second game? Because if he's not able to, it might be a similar story to game number 1.
Yeah, I agree, man. You got to make sure that this time the Yuzhong along with the Furious Die Petrify works out perfectly well for you. The good thing is he'll have a better chase, and if anything, Malfurion has to only pick up the Raging Sandstorm. There's no other thing that I see him finding a lot of value at, right? Yeah, you can pick up the Yuzhong as well, you'll get skills, but it's sustain. So you'd rather not want to dive into the enemy backline like that. So yeah, that Khalid ultimate is the only thing which I can see Malfurion potentially picking up and helping out with the team with the lack of crowd control as well. Otherwise, I'm probably seeing Slarky running away with the burst damage on the carry with the speedy light wheels. Yes, a Hilda and the Uranus are pretty tanky, but once the Trinity with the Malefic gun is made, they are not tanky.
Yeah, and I think it all comes down to how good of an early game that Extremely Slay will have. And if Go Next are able to trample through their early game, yeah, it's going to be a one-sided story. So Extremely Slay's Kingsta as well as Malfurion have their work cut out for them, especially Kingsta. Hey, yo, nice skateboarding.
Yeah, I mean, it happens on the Skillua skin. He does that. It's pretty fun, to
Yeah.
be honest. I kind of enjoy it, but it's only when you've got a pretty slow walking speed. Doesn't happen at the fast speed.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay, so basically no boots then.
no boots, yeah. You play without the boots.
Yeah, this is what I was talking about, man. It's going to be difficult. He's going to have a tough time in the early game. At least they forced out the flicker from Uyuk early on. The river control in their favor. Malfurion doing the job that he needs to protect Walkie. But meanwhile, I think he's going to steal away a creep. Yes, he did. And now Jackie is going to make sure he gets that snowball going for the side of Go Next.
Yeah, you kind of needed that right now. But the level 4 thing, I think so it will not be denied given that the Go Crab is still left unchecked, unpicked. So you might want to just go in for that full rotation to get that level 4. But on the other side though, constant pressure by Kingston. Malfurion, did he steal it away? I don't think so he did.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
Yeah, he did
I
not.
don't think he did.
Oh, wait. The creep has been taken. Walkie's still level 3. He won't get level 4 before the turtle. That is a problem. Alright, he's going for the gargoyle steal.
That's what I was talking about. He did take away that lava golem early on, so he's not able to get that level 4. And now he really needs the gargoyle to try and get to that point, to provide that vision, to provide that ability to take that 1v1 when he wants to. Maybe he'll try to force it out of Origami. At this point, he just hit level 4. There it is, the Mountain Shocker. Yes, he did. And Origami is forced to flicker out in the mid lane. That's the interaction that we wanted to see. But now they get into the turtle. And let's see who's going to come out on top. No Mount Shocker. Uyuk taking out for first blood. But here's the Black Dragon. And I don't think Walkie's going to survive this. This is what they were looking for. And this is what we want to see from Kuntaper in the previous game. And here comes Kingsta looking to lock down Jackie. But Origami with the Lantern Flare doing a lot. But oh my goodness, Kuntaper is a monster at this point. Raging Sandstorm with a flicker. Trying to cast Jackie. And they do indeed. The turtle being reset, and the fight is just continuing as Malfurion out of position gets taken away.
Just don't give the Valentina to Malfurion because he gives you some plays that you do not expect from him. Oh, no one picks out the turtle. It's just a bully for that poor creature, but holy smokes, this is just nasty. Walkie able to steal away the Litho Wanderer as well in between two people. Kingsta's still level 3 though. You'd kind of want to see that level 4 already showing up on both of these roamers because that would be... It's not as impactful for Kingsta as much it is for Uyuk. Now he's got the Raging Sandstorm.
Oh, now he does have the Raging Sandstorm and he locks down Walkie Traceless out of there. I think he's vulnerable, but he's able to get the kill. Oh my goodness, 3 members just chasing him down. Kingsta forced to flicker out as well, but look at Kuntaper. He has the Shard Residue, able to pick up the kill. And now they lock down the turtle. Once again, Go Next have been playing these neutral objectives to near perfection.
Whoa!
But Slarky in the mid lane, the 1v1 against Malfurion gets taken out.
And he also had the steed for himself for some reason, Malfurion there. There's no way he was surviving at the end of that. Wicked tried to get a bit of a goal from that tower, but hold on, Uyuk. Now he's being that nuisance, right? Kingsta picked up the Hilda to try and match up that rotation speed, but it is just not working out for them. The Jushin is just too strong in mid.
Yeah, that's the whole problem. We spoke about in the draft, right? This Khalid and Jushin are going to dominate the river. They need to find a way to make sure Walkie's allowed to breathe. But oh my goodness, Kingsta looking to lock down Slarky, forcing out a flicker as well. Here comes the Raging Sandstorm, locking him down. Lantern Flare to pull him back. Not enough for him to be taken away. And I think Walkie's doing a good job to try and keep up the farm. But he needs to get to that power spike that they need for Yisun Shin to guarantee a victory.
11-7 and 4.5 minutes into the game. So the farming speed is pretty decent. It's the same with Jackie. Onto that Leo mode. 60 seconds for that turtle. Let's still be trying to make a play out somewhere. So the only main thing for Go Next is to not get caught there. 1,000 goal lead almost for them, but Origami?
Laito getting pulled back. Uyuk already using the tornado, and you can see the positioning coming in from Go Next. They understand that Extremely Slay were trying to make a sandwich out of them, and they didn't let them do so. Kingsta has been sitting in the tri-bush the entire time, and they want to dive in. Slarky looking to take him down, and he does get Walkie. He wasn't able to make it out thanks to the spinning light wheel. Getting caught in that and slowed down Yes, they get one kill, but they take one back. So I would still say advantage go next.
Because it's walking on the jungle. He's not going to make it properly on time there because he's got to take away his own orange buff as well. And if he joins the turtle fight, then he would kind of be in a disadvantage right now. Go next team fighting is very strong. And the fact that they've got to use so many resources just to shut down Slarky Boy kind of gives room for Go next to make plays on other parts of the map.
Well, they're all 5 grouped up together now. It's going to be a 5v5. Already getting the turtle started. Uyuk, oh my goodness. He's got the quicksand guard to make it back up. Not forcing the flicker. Still has the raging sandstorm. Has to go back because that quicksand guard has a long cooldown. Trying to prioritize the waves. Dancing around the turtle is light though. Black Dragon already expended on the bot side. Expensive resource, but so is a Petrify. They really committed for Kings to force it on the flicker, but here's Wicked with his Demand Force dashing in and dashing out. This is enough time for the rest of Extremely Slay to come in and capitalize. Gunter should be going down, and yes, he does. A massive shutdown in the hands of the goal laner of Extremely Slay.
Slakiba was not even in that fight throughout that, man. That's a bit too much of an overcommitment for just a roamer. Now, I understand that they kind of want to shut that person down, but you'd rather not want to commit so many resources now being punished for that since Wicked was left unchecked on the Zaman Force. Even though he has the Purify, yes, that is true, but on the other side of the spectrum, if you force that one out, it gives room for Jackie to try and chase him down, for Uyuk to try and shut him down, even Origami on a certain aspect to maybe pick him up once the butterfly stacks are full. But that ain't happening, could be a bit of a problem. They don't have the priority in either of the side lanes. Laito taking down one from top. That is a massive snowball effect from just one engagement down bot.
Yeah, and I think and the best part for them being all the gold in the pocket of Wicked and a massive shutdown at that too. Yeah, it's not looking for good for Go next. They do still have a lot of river control. They're not able to push Kingsta out of this river because of the poke that Uyok is eating from Malfurion early on. So it gives enough space for Kingsta to do what he wants to do. Origami this time forced to flicker out. Rather use the Crimson Beacon. Here comes Jackie's Light, though, is forced to flicker out. They used the Steed early on, but look at Kunteper forced to use the Black Dragon for Petrify. But he has the Raging Sandstorm! They catch it now, they want to collapse as Walkie gets a double, and Wicked is dancing around with the help of the Zaman Force, and Go next did not see this come in, and Malfurion using the Crimson Beacon to catch Jackie's off guard, dashes in, finds himself a double. Slarky, the only one left standing for Go next, as Extremely Slay walk away with a one-man advantage, and they might just take away the tier 1 in the mid lane.
It definitely should fall though, but Slarky's there. He's got the Spin and Light Field to clear that wave out, but Wicked, he's got the Zaman Force. If he overcommits, it's going to be a problem.
No, he's just looking to take down that tower, and yes, he's able to do so. I wish we could take a look at that replay of that, man. That was absolutely insane. Kingsta baited out the entire team, and Jack is forced to use the Petrify and the Black Dragon. And even after Uyuk went through with the Raging Sandstorm, Walkie was just there at the right place at the right time to pick up a double thanks to the help of Malfurion and Wicked.
That was the big thing, man. We've been talking about Kuntepa multiple times, but that play was impeccable. He's got Petrify off cooldown in 3 seconds, and that's a good zone from Lord.
Well, I don't think it's at the right time, though. Kunteper going in early. Raging Sandstorm from Malfurion with a flicker as well. Committed using the IMU, but now a lot of damage come through with the Steed. As they find Uyuk, trading light though for Uyuk, and are they going to follow through? Petrify coming in. Kunteper might just get away with it. No, he doesn't. Too much damage coming out from Wicked, and Origami's going to be next on the chopping block. 3 taken down. Slarky and Jack is left standing, but the Lord already secured by Extremely Slay as it's marching down the mid lane.
Yeah, they tried to take the top tier 2 as well, but it ain't falling down so easily. But look at Kingsta, man. Look at the amount of map control he's taking for his team. Just being super annoying out there on that Hilda. And this is the best part about her. If you're low on the HP, just hop in the bush. That's either way is what you have to do once you're a roamer.
And that's what they're trying to do as Uyuk forced to flicker out. Quicksand guard. I don't think that's the position he wants to be in. Wicked forcing him out of there using the Zaman Force. The Lord is going to be crashing in and taking away that Holy Shield early. And that's what they need. Wait, Wicked with a Purify. Just because Origami had the Lantern Flare, that could be expensive for them.
Yeah, but I don't think so. It's going to be a big problem right now.
Oh no,
hold
Uyok,
on.
what are you doing? He goes over the Raging Sandstorm. They follow it up with the Steed as well, and it takes him down. They're able to kite so beautifully. Wicked again dropping the Zaman Force. Every time he drops the Zaman Force, they have to respect the damage that Extremely Slay can output.
Now, we've been talking constantly about the fact that Extremely Slay do not really have that much of the crowd control. If you really look at it, Go Next also have got just 2 major lockdown skills. One of them is the Raging Sandstorm that you're forced to use for an engage, and then it's Kuntipper with the Petrify into the Furious Dive. There is no other thing apart from that. Now, even if you use both of those on the right targets, Wicked can just Purify out of 1. Laito is totally fine with the Consecration. Walkie has got the Traceless to work with. So it's kind of similar idea for Extremely Slay to try and bait out those CC skills, walk away, go in for the re-engage after kiting a bit, and then just punish the members of Go Next because they are heavily ultimate dependent. And their ults have got a long cooldown apart from Jackie and Slarky.
Oh, well, take a look at the item scared. Never mind. Kingston walks into a Death Bush, forced to flicker out, but he baited out so many ultimates, which gives opportunity for Extremely Slay to go for a re-engage.
Yeah, I mean, that one kind of popped off away early as well because we thought maybe Kingston would be taken down. But keeping that flicker, he'll not really have it for the Lord fight, so that might be a slight bit of a problem. Holy smokes. Slarky. As soon as he saw Kingstar, he's like, yeah, alright, I'm going to pop in the speedy light fields and then I'm going to hop back.
11 seconds to the Lord scared. Go Next want to contest. They're down 7k.
Oh my god.
Any new items you see?
The one I want to see is what I don't see. There is no Chastis Pauldron. There's no Radiant Armor on anyone except Uyok. That is the big reason why Wicked has been hitting stop, man. It is tough for Go Next. I think so this game, or rather at least this fight, is going to be already decided. For as long as Wicked can position well, he will single-handedly win the fight.
And he's hitting like a truck too. 106. I saw a holy crystal somewhere. If that's in the hands of Wicked,
it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Go Next to. You know that meme where you got that guy looking up the Green Goblin from Spider-Man? I don't know what the actor's name is, but he's just looking up, just praying. That's what it feels like to be Go Next right now.
That's probably the case, but they go for the fight.
Oh no, a sandwich coming through. Steed is there, but look at the Zaman Force in the thick of it as well, taking down 2 members. Origami finds Wicked, but the damage was dealt, and now they find another.
That's
and
big.
This is not a position that they want to be in. Extremely Slay jumped the gun, but Go Next were there ready to capitalize. The area of effect that they had is coming to fruition now.
Finally, and hold on, maybe they want more.
Oh no, Jack is trying to go in. He has to see it on top of him as well. Kingsta absorbing the damage, makes it out of line, but look at the bot side. Uyok wants to clear the wave to add some pressure, and you know what, Scared? That brings to light. They've only taken away 1 tower from Extremely Slay so far.
It's just the lane pressure that they have. You've got Laito on the Uranus who can constantly pop in and out of any of those lanes. You talked about it in the draft itself that Laito on the Uranus will play in that far lane, but look at the position of Kingstar. Look at Kingstar.
Oh my god, he's trying to go in. Oh, the knockup from the Lord is coming in as well. The Black Dragon now forced to go back to Retribution, making sure they secured the Lord. Kingstar forced to use the flicker to go out. Laito trying to stop them. Oh no, Origami gets caught out thanks to the Terrify coming in from Malfurion. And now they pick up a kill. Extremely Slay find a moment to turn it around, but Kuntifer with the help of the region was able to stay alive.
That was so close. Oh, guess what? There's no rest for you, Kronos. Maybe they want to go in for the fight again, but it is going to be that disengage as the Lord pops in. Jackie with no ultimate, no speedy light wheels for Slarky as well. You kind of want to see Slarky positioning well in these fights because he's being caught out multiple times, and I think so that is kind of the thing. Go Next are playing for the engage while they need to play front to back.
The moments where they really found a way. Oh no, the Raging Sandstorm not catching the right targets. They're able to make it out alive, and now here comes the Black Dragon trying to go up berserk. Wicked gets taken away. Slarky is looking to melt them down one after another. Malfurion is trying to run away as fast as he can, and now I think Extremely Slay trying to go for a re-engage angle, but they see the damage that Slarky can put out, and now they do not want to dive in.
You either catch Slarky before the fight even begins, or you do not take that fight. Kingsta.
Oh no, what are you doing, bro? This is not what you gotta do. They give a shutdown to Origami. It's expensive. And not just that, they add a stack to his Sky Piercer. They get the tier 1 in the mid lane. They're able to open up the jungle of Extremely Slay. All thanks to that overextension coming through every single time. Jackis gets caught out by the Mountain Shocker. Walkie with an outplay. And Malfurion looking to get taken down, but he flickers for Origami! Oh! He flickers forward to get that kill! And now they're trying to go for more. Origami gets slain by Walkie. Zaman force drop down. Uyuk trying to save him with a Raging Sandstorm, but it's not enough as Wicked is dashing around, creating havoc. And Extremely Slay and Go Next go back and forth this entire time.
2 for 2 at the end of the day, man. For holy smokes. Yeah, this game ain't gonna end pretty soon. 54,000 to 50,000 gold difference out there. A full house in those items. Went 10 for the Rose Gold Meteor along with the Malefic Gun. So Slarky is going to have a ton of damage. Not a single Justice Pauldron get on the side of Go Next, man. That is tough. And Origami, he's either completing the Clock of Destiny or he's forgotten to sell the item. But I really hope it is the former.
Nah, bro, he just forgot about it. We just here chilling. He just chilling and playing. He forgot about the item completely. That happens to me sometimes, though, you know? Has it ever happened to you?
I mean, no. Since the day I
Whatever,
started
bro.
playing seriously.
Whatever, bro. This
Same.
guy says seriously, and he's still stuck in Epic. Malfurion,
What
though,
the heck do you mean by
taking
that?
away the
I'm,
Raging...
I'm 2 wins away from glory right now, man. Oh, that is...
And bro, you get rage
Getting
baited
long.
quite easily, just like Extremely Slayer as well. Slarky going back, a lot of damage being dished out. Retribution to secure the Lord. Jackis, after the steed, gets taken away. Thanks to the help of Wicked, and now they're locking down Kingston, but he's able to kite out. And now, in the thick of it, here comes Malfurion with the Raging Sandstorm of his own. Walking the back line, trying to go with the Traceless, looking to take him down. He's on a killing spree. Slarky left alone in no man's land. Lighto flickers forward, looking to take him down, but the damage coming in too much. I think Slarky might just be able to survive this. He is surviving, but now Kingston is locking him down. 4 members down and out, and I think he's gonna get taken away. Slarky, Wind of Nature, but he's trying to outplay, finds one. He's gonna find another. No, but guess what? Extremely Slay lock down the base crystal and take the game 2-0.
That is insane. They just realized all they need to do is not fight with Slarky, or rather, you know what? Let's just not let him recall and end the game. What a way to play that entire fight. First of all, it was the Lord Steel coming in, picture perfect. The entire pit was being controlled by Extremely Slay. The zone out was on point. And then even though Jackie tried to find an angle to go in for that Retribution Steel, it just did not work out for him. He was not able to land in that Retri on time. Walkie was a slight bit better in that. But then at the end of the day, look at every single thing being made, drawn out there. Malfurion becomes the MVP of that entire game. And I don't think so we should have any kind of doubts. The way he was using those Raging Slashes, the times where he picked up the Crimson Beacon as well, to have that extra bit of moments of, you could say, damage and unexpected dashes, he was bringing it all. Wicked was having his own fun time because guess what? There is no Justice Pauldron on the other side. He can dash around as freely as he wants there. Highest damage put to the towers too. Lighto with 32% damage tanked, and Kingsta. I don't know how he survived on that Hilda against a carry like that, but man, someone needs to learn the positionings from him. He is pretty good.
Yeah, I think this was so back and forth. It just came down to the fact that Slarky was not allowed to breathe whatsoever with the space that he was not given. And it felt like, you know, it felt like a 3-2-1. Let's just throw all our ultimates in at the same time from Extremely Slay, if you ask me. Because a lot of ultimates was just being thrown at the same time. And the side of Go Next were just so overwhelmed. Even though they had the crowd control, if they layered their skills well, they could have come out with a victory. But I think it was just a panic situation. They just clapped back whatever they could. and they relied on Slarky for the damage, which he did have, but Extremely Slay were so good at juggling back and forth. Like, okay, for 1 second, we'll have Kingsta try and go into the back line, and then he gets back, and then Lito dives on top of him, so he's not able to get the kill. He's dishing out the damage, but nobody's going down.
I just have to say, man, at this point, it was just the way how they were jiggling all of that damage, and at the end of the day, the positionings that eventually came into question. Extremely Slay knew that if they go for a head-on 5v5 fight, they will not win it out. You've got a Yujong with the Petrify Furious Dive combination who can land in Petrify on multiple people at the same time. And then on the other side of the spectrum, you've got, yes, Wicked on the Harith, but if he's hitting the frontliners, he's not going to do good. He needs to hit those backliners. He needs to find that angle. And that is exactly what Extremely Slay created with both Lito on the Uranus and Kingsta on the Hilda. Zoning away Slarky on that carry every other time. It's like these small moments which they found in between that chaos, which constantly forced Go Next to change the way how they were going in for the team fight. It was supposed to be a front to back with Origami constantly protecting Slarky Boy, but somehow it ended up being Origami on a very different place, Slarky on a very different place, and now there's two different fights going on multiple fronts. And most of that was being won by Extremely Slay. Yes, there were trades, but not good enough, and that is the reason, ladies and gentlemen, we've got Boars Gaming, already qualified previously with that best of 3 2-2-0, up against Extremely Slay, who've just now won their own series.
Well, now we know what it looks like for the side of Western Europe. The SPL Playoffs are going to start next week from the 3rd of April. Folks, make sure you tune in as fast as possible. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on what we got. And I think you got to hit that bell notification icon, so make sure you don't miss out on any sort of updates that coming through. Follow our Instagram. We always put out stories or posts just to remind you when the games are going on. Follow us on our social. For me, as Chronos Cast and Scared Yet, the same thing, Scared Yet. So, hey, just don't miss out on the opportunities that are there, folks. We're bringing you banger games, and Western Europe is here to stay.
I'm looking forward to it already, man. Starting all the way from the next week itself, it's going to be constant action. And if this is the kind of gameplay I'm going to see, you know what, I'm just going to be hopping here. Even if I'm not on the desk, I'll be supporting all the players, all the boys out here. We're going to be having so much fun out in this entire next few months of SPL season. Surge bringing so many things. A huge shout out to them. And Chronos, again, we've got the two teams who have qualified from the Europe matching up against all the teams from either Turkey, from MENA, and also from the Eastern Europe side. We will see what happens in the Surge Pro League, ladies and gentlemen. Make sure you check out all the Instagram posts, all the social media platforms. Subscribe onto the YouTube channel, which Chronos has already mentioned. We'll catch you guys on 3rd of April with the action in the main stage. This is me, Scared Yet, signing off along with Chronos. Bye-bye. Have a good night. Have fun.
Hosting 4 massive tournaments with an €18,000 total prize pool, including 2 direct tickets to the Esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia. We are also hosting community tournaments every 2 weeks for our players out there. Whether you're fighting for your country, your region, or a global ticket, here is what's coming up. We kick off things with Surge Pro League, aka SPL, where the goal is to give European teams opportunity to face tougher enemies outside Europe, and also other regions to face each other. 4 regions fighting for €3,000. Clash between Europe, MENA, EECA, and Turkey, starting on 23rd March with 2 European qualifiers. We will invite 2 teams from each region, but European ones have to fight for their slot with winners of European qualifiers. On April 3rd, the playoffs ignite with 4 high-stakes BO3 quarterfinals. The intensity rises on April 4th for the semifinals, where the winners move into 2 grueling BO5 series to secure their place on the big stage. It all culminates on April 5th with the 3rd place match in a BO5 format, followed by the massive BO7 Grand Final to crown the ultimate regional champion. Everything will be live on our YouTube, Twitch, and TikTok from March 29th. Links for registration are in bio. So, what are you still waiting for? We are going straight out of Europe, and you can be part of it. Next up is SNL, the Surge Nations League. This league is all about building the grassroots scene in every European country. 8 countries from all across Europe, Spain, Portugal, Romania, Italy, Germany, Greece, Ukraine, and France, will battle through dedicated national qualifiers to decide who rules their home turf. There is a €3,000 prize pool on the line, and the action kicks off with national qualifiers running until April 5th to find the best representative for each territory. On April 17th, the 8 national winners meet face-to-face in a BO3 quarter-final. The winners move to the BO5 semifinals on April 18th. The grand final happens on April 19th with a massive BO7 to decide who rules Europe. Next we have MEC, Mobile Legends European Championship Season 2. Europe finally has a wild card slot for EWC, and MEC is your first ticket to $3 million. Everything starts with 2 single-elimination open qualifiers from April 10th to 12th and April 24th to 26th. Only the top 6 teams will survive the grind to advance to the next stage. May 9th to 17th, the qualifiers join 2 invited teams for the regular season. It's a BO3 group stage round robin, where every win matters for your final playoff seeding. The stakes peak from May 28th to 30th. We move into a double elimination format, meaning you have to lose twice to be out. These matches are BO5, and this is where the finalists are decided. Finally, on May 31st, it's the grand final, a massive best-of-7 marathon to crown the champion of Europe. The winner takes the biggest slice of the €10,000 prize pool and the legendary MSC wildcard slot for the EWC. Registration is open now. Link in the bio. And for our female pros, the SVC is your stage. Surge Valkyrie Clash is a direct ticket to the MWI at the Esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia, with €2,000 and global glory on the line. Everything kicks off May 1st, with high-stakes single-elimination open qualifiers. On May 25th, the top 8 teams meet in a BO3 quarter-final. On May 26th, the pressure rises in the BO5 semifinals, culminating May 27th with a massive BO7 grand final. The winner takes the trophy and the legendary MWI slot at EWC to represent our region on the world stage. Show the world your strength. Registration is open now via the link in our bio. We also host community tournaments every 2 weeks, where you can show off your skills and grab yourself diamonds and skins even just by participating. Think you have what it takes? The road to glory starts now. Head over to Battlefy to secure your spot in the qualifiers, and make sure to catch all the action live on YouTube, TikTok, and Twitch. See you on the battlefield.
Now that's how you dominate. Now Team Spirit comes back into form. He ain't causing nuisance. He finds an angle to find a finishing touch. It's a 5v4 now. Ye jumps in with the Alice. Oh, through the ruin there in the back.
Just like that.
Surge Europe is taking over. This season, we're hosting 4 massive tournaments with an €18,000 total prize pool, including 2 direct tickets to the Esports World Cup in Saudi Arabia. We are also hosting community tournaments every 2 weeks for our players out there. Whether you're fighting for your country, your region, or a global ticket, here is what's coming up. We kick off things with Surge Pro League, aka SPL, where the goal is to give European teams opportunity to face tougher enemies